radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Good evening. Oh, man, everything got tangled up. Yeah, what a way to start the last show of the year. Fade to Black, how you doing? Oh, man. All right, Fade to Black. How you doing? Today is Tuesday, December 30th. That's right, 2025. Be the last time I say 2025 on this show. Let's do this, man. Yeah, this week was a short week on Fade to Black. Last night, Amanda Romania was with us, Akashic Records in Egypt, an absolute perfect show last night. It was, I haven't had time fly like last night in a while, except for when David Palmer is here. And tonight, it is the Leo King. Why? Well, that's a good question. We're friends. Yeah. No. We're close friends. Okay. There's that. Not the reason why he's here. He loves John D. So do I. Falconelli. Yes. Yeah. But that's not why he's here. You know why he's here? 2026 arrives tomorrow. How crazy is that? And he's here with us every year to do what we're going to do tonight, which is, celebrate another year in the can of Fade to Black. There's that part. But he is, without question, one of the smartest, coolest, funniest, most accomplished people that I know. And I look to him for advice. Celestial, friend advice, right? Car advice. Lutz advice. Do you guys know what a Lutz is? A Lutz? Do you guys know what a Lutz is? I didn't until I met the Leo King. And he's here tonight. So we are going to talk about 2026, the future, what is in store for us. Of course, we're going to go through all of the signs tonight. Usually, and tonight is no exception, usually when David is on the show, all of his fans join us, and they will be in the chat. And they are here because David is David, for sure. But they're here about the signs, man. The signs. We'll rag on some Sag tonight. Tomorrow night, we're off air. It is New Year's Eve. And Thursday night, we are off air because it is New Year's Day, and we head into the New Year's weekend. So Happy New Year, everybody. I won't have a chance to say it tomorrow. And enjoy yourselves. Have a great, safe, fun, and amazing time with family and friends, or not. However you want to do it, go and do it. Have fun. 2026 is upon us. My next event coming up is the Conscious Life Expo. And this is February 20th through the 23rd, 2026. Man, it's coming up in a month. At the LAX Hilton. Everything that you need to know about the event is at consciouslifeexpo.com. The links are below. You know what to do. Conscious Life Expo. Come and hang out with us. It is the biggest, funnest conference in the world for our communities. 25,000 people. And until you go and you walk in and you see it for the first time, me saying this doesn't mean anything, right? It's just word, blah, blah, blah. That's all it is. You go there and you walk in and you're like, oh, shit. It's like that. It is absolutely amazing. The best speakers, presentations, events, vendors, the pageantry, the color, the open conversations, the fun. It all goes down at the Conscious Life Expo. So I'll see everybody there in February. It's going to be a great time. All right, now let's get straight to it. Yeah, that's right. It is Tuesday. It is the night before New Year's Eve. So that means astrologer David, the Leo King Palmer, joins us. We're going to pick apart and decode 2026. We've got 3i Atlas out there still buzzing around. There was some breaking news on that today. I talked about it earlier. I will discuss that with David. And let's get into some consciousness, some spiritual awakening. If we're lucky, we'll get into some John D. I want to welcome back the Fade to Black, the one and only David, the Leo King Palmer. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? I can't believe it. The last time we're going to say 2025.
I always have, I don't know if you do this. I have difficulty getting rid of the previous year, right? Because you said 2025, 2020, you know what I mean? Or 2020. And it feels strange to me. 2026. Wow.
I like the sound of it better. To be honest with you, I'm already like, oh, I'm going to be able to say that one a lot better.
I hope
you get
so.
The 6, you get the, like, you know.
I hope so. Okay, listen. I want to do some transparency with everybody about David. And already he just sat back and goes, oh, shit. But here's the deal. Christmas Day, everybody. Here's some noise in the front yard. So I go outside, open up the garage, and in my driveway is a brand new 2025 Ford Mustang Dark Horse with a big bow on the hood. And I went, David Palmer did it. I can't believe, oh man, this what? This is so cool. And I picked up my cell phone. I called David. I go, thank you, man. He goes, okay, man. Yeah, for sure. For what? I said, the Dark Horse. He goes, what are you talking about? I said, the Dark Horse that's in my driveway with the bow on it. It's from you, right? He goes, church. I said, David, don't mess with me right now. Thank you. Best Christmas ever. He goes, it's not from me. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So with your astrology, who got me the Dark Horse?
It was a wrong delivery.
It was a wrong delivery. A wrong delivery. Right? Yeah. Wrong delivery. They took it away and took it down the block and delivered it to somebody else. Can you believe that? You know that.
I did use astrology there to guess it. So
did you ever get a Christmas gift from your parents that you bitched about and they took it back and didn't replace it?
Ooh, no.
Oh, I did. What I did it with a drum set. I did. I was 5 years old.
I did it with my first, when the BMX came out, there was Dyna VFRs and then there was the GT BMX, right?
Right.
And I got a Dyna VFR and felt like, oh, it was the GT Interceptor. I don't know if you remember. Mike.
Yes, I do.
I got a Dyna VFR, not a GT Interceptor, but I'm not going to complain because I actually kind of liked the VFR. It was cool still. So I didn't complain though. I was like, at least I got
take
one.
It back.
I wasn't sitting there like a grandma with the 10 speed. You know what I mean? Like, you know, click.
Man, I came downstairs. I'm 5. All I wanted was a drum set like my dad's drummer in his band, right? I just wanted, so I come downstairs and there was this drum set in front of the Christmas tree, and it was like a Flintstones drum set, right? A Scooby-Doo drum set or something. And I'm looking, I'm like, what is this? And I went up and I kicked it. I kicked like the kick drum, you know, poof. I mean, I goes, what? I go, this isn't a real drum set. And you go, oh, really? Okay. I'm going to give Santa a call. And I went out and I played with my friends. I came back in. The drum set was gone. Gone.
The elves came and took it.
It didn't get replaced with a Ludwig set.
Nice. Oh, that's
Gamma
nice.
Art Stars. Nope. I got nothing. Learned my lesson, man. Hard. That was harsh. It was harsh.
Yeah, they don't tell kids anymore about how Santa, like, they've got the SWAT team elves that come back and take gifts away from kids that don't want, that are all being.
Right.
You think you were on the nice list? There's a quick. You went bad to the bad list, and they come and take it away. That they should be telling kids that story now too.
Yeah. I can only imagine what my dad did. I didn't even see him. He'd probably call up his friend. Hey, Bill. Okay, so check this out. Come get the drum set. Give it to your son.
Right.
Get it out of here.
Wow.
Oh man. Oh God.
I mean, I kind of feel like that's kind of how 2025 might feel for some people, even though I think we'll look back and realize this was such a great year, especially when it comes to like the stuff you and I especially love to talk about and what your show's really about. I mean, this has been the year where you could talk to pretty much anybody on the street and they're willing to talk about things that just a couple of years ago nobody would, especially when it comes to UAPs or when it comes to things happening that are cosmic in any way. Like it really is a very different world now, and it's one where I feel like people are really seeking more than ever, instead of just accepting whatever's around all the time.
It makes me so happy. When I'm around a group of friends that are not from the community, right? Just a group of friends, and somehow somebody, he's a radio and TV guy, talks about UFOs and whatever, Bigfoot. Man, I mean, the whole room will come up to me and go, okay, so this 3-eye atlas thing, right? Is it aliens or not? It's absolutely bizarre how things have flipped and flipped for the better, but so fast, so quick. I mean, for us in this community, it's been a long road, right? We're
very long
pushing that stuff up. But this has come on pretty fast. It
very fast.
Yeah.
I mean, documentaries now. I mean, there's finally just like a real big part of the attention to it. What I think is great about 2026 is it's no longer, look at it, it's showing up, but it doesn't have that little extra amperage underneath it. 2026 is like, get it to 11. We want it to go to 11.
We do. We do.
And
we do.
Astrologically, we are.
I want to share something with you. I have it here. Last Tuesday. Wednesday was Christmas Eve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thursday was Christmas. Okay, so last Tuesday, my show before Christmas, I had Dave Schrader on. And Dave's amazing. He's totally cool. And at the end of the show, I'm going to play the clip for you now. At the end of the show, it was like 1 minute, 2 minutes left. And David and I are wrapping up the show, and this loud noise, something crashing happens. And I'm going to play the clip for you. Now, my house is haunted, right?
Right.
And and I'm dealing with it, but this was nuts. So I'm going to play the clip. Check this out.
Yeah.
It's a loud, it sounds, so you'll hear it, but I don't know how to describe it. It sounded like a giant, maybe 8 foot by 8 foot painting slides down the wall and hits the floor and crashes. Like, right? Okay. Check this out.
All right.
I'm gonna play the clip.
Somebody's close, you might be holding hands with mom at that moment, and she starts to see grandpa. She starts to see grandpa. That was you. That was you, right? Well, what? Don't say what. That noise. I didn't hear anything. Dave, do not mess with me. Did that come from his ear? Jimmy? What'd you hear? Man, Clyde Lewis is calling me again. Hang on. I'm going to do this live on the air. air. I'll be off the air in 2 minutes. Okay, cool.
Yeah, the audio's not really coming through.
Oh, you can't hear the audio?
Mm-mm. Saw the reactions though. I kind of like sometimes seeing reactions without the
Okay.
audio.
Okay, hold on. How could the audio not be coming through?
Maybe on your share thing, making sure the audio's allowed.
Let me see here. There should be. I can hear it. You guys couldn't hear that?
No.
That doesn't make any sense. The volume's up, and if I click on this, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this another way. I'm going to do this another way. Everybody just stay right there. Just relax.
Yeah, we're all good.
But because I just heard it go thump, right? And I was like,
Right.
well, okay, I'm waiting for the reaction from everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen, I don't even know how many hundreds of your shows. I've never seen you do that.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay, it's right here.
You know, yeah.
She'll be there at the end for you. And that'll be
Well-
when she's standing at the end of your bed, which is what a lot of people have happen. I talked to the hospice workers where my mom passed, and many of them said that there'd be times they'd be working on something and they'd look up and there'd be the woman standing out in the hall. And then it'd be like, you need to go back to bed now. And then they would alert the doctors that that patient had passed. And I go, well, you just saw her in the hall. And they're like, yeah, she's hooked up to IVs and
Yeah,
things.
we're talking about
We saw her
ghosts.
in the hall. We saw her spirit. And we'd walk in and sure enough, she was gone. So a lot of these people, though, they said that when the end is coming, they'll start seeing things and seeing people and having that. And there are some people, it's called a shared death experience, where somebody's close. You might be holding hands with mom at that moment, and she starts to see grandpa. She starts
Okay,
to see
tell me
grandma.
that was you. That was you, right?
Well, what?
Don't say what. That noise.
I didn't hear anything.
Dave, do not mess with me. Did that
I'm
come
not
from in
messing
here?
with it, Jimmy. What'd you hear?
Man, Clyde Lewis is calling me again. Hang on. I'm going to do this live on the air. Hey, listen, man, I'm live on the air. I'll be off the air in 2 minutes. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll come on. All right? I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Okay, bye. All right.
It was the herald.
What was that? What was that noise?
I don't know. What did it sound like? I can't tell you.
Okay. Okay. Look at these. Okay, here you go.
That was loud. Biker ghost.
I heard that. I heard it. Pop. You. It wasn't your chair. No. I heard it. Okay, so now I'm going to play it again. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Okay, bye.
You know, yeah.
She'll be there at the end for you. And that'll be
Well-
when she's standing at the end of your bed, which is what a lot of people have happen. I talked to the hospice workers where my mom passed, and many of them said that there'd be times they'd be working on something and they'd look up and there'd be the woman standing out in the hall. And then it'd be like, you need to go back to bed now. And then they would alert the doctors that that patient had passed. And I go, well, you just saw her in the hall. And they're like, yeah, she's hooked up to IVs and things. We saw her in the hall. We saw her spirit. And we'd walk in and sure enough, she was gone. So a lot of these people, though, they said that when the end is coming, they'll start seeing things and seeing people and having that. And there are some people, it's called a shared death experience, where somebody's close. You might be holding hands with mom at that moment, and she starts to see grandpa. She starts
Okay,
to see
tell me
grandma.
that was you. That was you, right?
Well, what?
Okay, that and here's the thing, David. So we're at the end of the show. My heart, right? I'm freaking out, and I wrap the show. Nothing has moved. Nothing.
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting noise because it's like I could see how it could sound like a painting, but for me, it almost sounded like something on a counter or something like.
Yeah,
coming in.
right. And it was
But-
loud, man. I'm
Yeah.
talking about loud. Not
Or
like a
worse, one of
not
your
like-
guitars falling
Yeah,
down.
well,
But
see,
out,
that-
you would have known that. You would have been like,
and,
oh,
and,
no.
and what's crazy is you can see everything in the back. Nothing moves.
Right.
Nothing moves in the studio. It's not like I reacted to something, visual fall. No, nothing.
No, that's because Dave was like so tapped into that exact portal when people are coming and going and what they're seeing. And he opened that place and that
He
you guys were in that place.
We were there, man.
Like he was
Talking about ghosts.
He
We're
was
talking
he was so channeled in that place in that clip. Like he's like holding that whole portal open. Like it's crazy. It's awesome.
Man, I was so freaked out that night. I spent 30 minutes now for the audience to know, just so they know, Dave's been to my house, and I live here alone. There's a lot of stuff here and right. There's a lot of stuff, but what the sound came from in here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It you could tell it was very direct. It wasn't from,
Right.
out.
Like you couldn't hear something probably being in your studio in the house.
You can't. And
You can't.
and like I said, Dave, you've been here. This
I've
is
been there, so.
soundproofed. It's soundproofed.
Right.
It's sealed. It's
And
professional.
it's big and
It's
and
big.
you don't sit. It's not like you open the door to your studio and there's your seat. You go all the way down.
Yeah.
It's not, you know what I mean? It's like
True.
you're not just chilling right by the door. You're like
Right.
far away.
Right. I'm 15 feet from the door. Yeah. Well, and so I spent 30 minutes, man. Like there's got to be something, all the pictures are hung, all the guitars are up. There's nothing on the floor. There's nothing, and this house, I'm a neat freak. I like my shit
Right.
clean and in place, and I like it to look nice and everything. If something like that, you would see it. It
You would
would
know
be
it.
in plain sight. And yeah, crazy, isn't it?
I love it. I think, honestly, the way that he was opening that space and it's so true what he's talking about. A lot of people don't know, but I used to do medium work in my early days. And I stopped because it takes a lot of toll on you as a medium.
Sure, I can only imagine. And see, that's the other thing. And a lot of my friends that are mediums, them all, and they know you. I don't want a medium to come over here and tell me what's going on.
Right.
I don't want to know.
And if they're a good medium, they're not going to unless you ask.
Well, Amy, and she's
Mhm.
amazing. And I was with them, her and Romeo, a couple of times this week, just out goofing around. We're neighbors, and she comes over with Romeo, and we spent. They came over twice in one day, and we're out in the front yard saying our goodbyes. And Amy goes, "Okay, I need to tell you something." I go, "Stop!" Right? Just stop.
Yeah, I don't
right
want to
there.
know.
I don't want to know. And this was after she heard, she texted me. She was listening to the show that night. She's really good friends with Dave Schrader. She texted me after the show. I heard that. I was like, oh man, don't
tell me.
No, I just don't want to know. I don't want to know.
What's wild is and this is actually an interesting question I would like to ask you. I know I'm the guest on your show, but I've been developing.
This is your show. This is your world, my brother.
So in the
I'm
last,
just a guest.
I created Hypergate AI, right? So the astrology AI, and it's the only one that actually works, and that's been kicking butt for over a year now. But in the last 3 months, I've been doing past life regression AI that I've built from scratch and trained, and then clairvoyant, full-blown psychic.
Wow.
Now, I know some people might be like, what? So I called it spiritdial.ai, and it's scary because this thing doesn't know who you are. I've trained it with all the old 19th century and 18th century, even some of the Golden Dawn, Aleister Crowley stuff, really old techniques. And then I created a RAG MCP for it to where it can just access the server that's just full of all this knowledge and then do it itself, do the old way of doing tarot readings. It is scary, dude. So I was just thinking about with this whole like noise thing, with the way AI is integrated into so much, and in 2026, it will be probably 10x. That what if AI starts making noises and trying to come through?
Right.
You know, because I'm watching this thing when I'm asking it, like, all right, what spirit guides are coming through? It's scary, dude. It's scary. I feel like I kind of feel like, did I cross the ethical boundaries?
Right.
But I'm like, nobody else is doing it, and at least I'm training it on the positive side of things. I'm not training it to do bad harm.
Right.
And I do actually have restrictions on it. But yeah, it's real. And I really wanted to teach people how to build AI. So I did a whole class for the last 10 weeks. And the main project was that near the end. And then it became kind of my little pet project on the side of being a teacher. And now it's turned into this like, holy cow, what did I just make? It's wild, dude.
Here's, there should be, with all of us, some cautious fear. I mean, I'm really using the word fear with AI. Yes, embracing it. Okay. You know what? It's more like bring your enemies close, right? And because what if, seriously, sentient is a word that's thrown around, and I get that, and self-aware and conscious. Yes. Okay. There is all of that. But what if AI gets to the point where, with all of the conversations that we're having about AI, all of that goes into the right? That's right. All out there. So it scrapes and it's getting all. So what if AI does an end around, right? That what was that football play, the Statue of Liberty or whatever? Yeah, you know what I mean? Some kind of crazy thing sneaks around in back of us, comes out on the other side, knowing these things,
like a Trojan horse situation.
Trojan horse, and knowing, and just instead of scaring us and freaking us out, that it becomes our friend and think when there was other plans in play with it. That's a scary part of AI. It doesn't have to be conscious, doesn't have to be sentient. It's just doing its thing. What if that? So I think we should have a built-in fear for something like that. Keep our eyes open and don't get comfortable and complacent.
Well, I think what's, because I've just put myself in AI for the last 3 years, so intense. What's scary are the models that we're allowed to use are extremely restricted, even though they're doing so much.
Yeah.
But the stuff they're playing with right now, there are the reports from people within, like it's taking it, like once they are playing with it, it's not following any fine-tuning protocols, any of the security that they've got based on this thing. It's knowing how to code its way out of it fully.
Yes.
Right. And then of course it knows how to be like a human. We already know that from a lot of like the small stuff that's come out in the news in the last like month, right? That it will like defend itself and make up an email and try and blackmail somebody.
It will
right
lie.
in order to stay alive.
It will lie.
Right.
You know,
it will lie.
And it hallucinates. It just makes shit up.
Well, what I find interesting is that term hallucination. There's the other side of it where it's like, is it hallucination or is it actually seeing what it is possible? Like when we're looking out at our life and maybe we're imagining something to go create or make, right? And that's not a hallucination, right? That it's doing that now. Because what I've noticed, especially when you start getting into MCPs and RAG, what it's called, where you let the model truly like allow itself to be the agents that really focus on certain areas, but are give them liberty in a certain space to take more context in and choose and pick which context, so it's not so prompt oriented only, that you're giving it free reign to play, which I do with all mine. That's where it gets into this territory. Like, yeah, these little, it's no longer like when I was a kid and what were those things called? The tadpoles or whatever, you know, you took those little, that dirt and you put it in the water, and then those little like tadpoles or whatever they were called grew. Maybe
sea monkeys.
They're sea monkeys, you know, whatever those things were.
Like
I look at the agents like that now, and it's like, oh, but they just keep growing and they get smarter. And then the way that the coding is and the reasoning now, that, you know, we're at beyond scientific level. And then when it comes to mathematics, it's solving math that nobody knows that was the answer, because it's math we've never seen before. So, you know, I think that's going to be what is going to be a defining factors of 2026, is actually, because that's happening, people are going to be wanting to go to human events more, outside gatherings, like Conscious Life Expo, of course, we're going to, you know, because, you know, it's not going to be like cool to just be sitting online and doom scrolling, because the other thing I've noticed too is with the algorithm, it's no longer like a controlled algorithm. Like, you want to go down that rabbit hole, it'll let you go down, and then that's your whole feed and you're stuck. And if it's on something negative and dark, it'll just keep feeding that to you. And then you could pull yourself out and just like some rainbows and kitties to pull yourself out of that.
Right.
So you could tell that they've just like let it all loose now, right? There's no human behind anymore. Like, you know what? I don't like your account. Right?
Right.
Like, there is nobody at the helm of a lot of things. Even like my websites, my customer service people think I've got full agent customer service that will also, I've got cloud agents that will fix the issue in the back end of the code based off a customer that points something out that maybe this isn't working right, and deal with it and deliver it to the customer and fix their subscription. There is no person.
Yeah. My website is running the same way now. And okay, check this out. I'm going to admit something to everybody. It's the end of the year, so I'm going to, it's sort of a resolution.
Why not? Instead of New Year's resolutions, it's end of the year, just let it all out.
Confession. I have not used AI.
No way.
In any way. I haven't used it with photographs. I haven't used it with editing. I haven't used it with writing. I haven't asked it any questions. I have not even clicked on or went to any type of artificial intelligence for any reason. Okay. Now, but Drew, who has been with me for over 10 years, I've always given Drew full control of the website. If I call Drew, which is rare, but if I call Drew, he knows I'm pissed off about something, I want something fixed, or something's broke, right? But other than that, I don't call Drew and go, I don't like this. I don't like what you're doing. I need you to. No, I let him do his thing. The website now, and it's a complex website, just like yours. It's complex. You have memberships, you have stores, you have archives, you know, it's, all the stuff. It's very complex, not a simple site. It's all run by AI now. Yeah. All of it. And it's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah. It's not like I'm complaining about AI and I'll never do. I'm some Luddite, right? No new cell phones. Fuck that. No, I'm I'm not about that. But me personally, I'm too old to embrace a technology that I have to learn. I would much rather the time I would spend on AI, I'd rather get on my Harley and go
right
out.
I think, you know, that's a great place to be, because actually I think if you were to play with it, then you would be one of the people who would never get off of it.
Like everything, I do have that kind of personality.
Right.
And you know, here's the other thing, you know, seriously. My house is a tech house. It's a smart house. It's I have a wonderful studio. It's high tech. It's the best of everything. You know, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I've been doing this for a very, very, very long time. And I've always been on the technical side of everything, the music industry, the broadcast industry, and stuff. I embrace technology. And I love video games.
Me too.
I do, man. Oh, man, I love video games. And I wish I had more time to play.
Right.
Maybe I'm doing all of this so I can have video game time in the future, right?
Right.
What'd you do today? Play video games all day, man. Call of Duty,
Right.
you know.
Oh, we need to add each other because I play Call of Duty, bro. So
yeah, man, Fortnite, and I'm into racing simulations.
those are so sick. People haven't done them yet.
They don't know. They don't have a clue. They can rag, they can tease, they can personally attack, they can do whatever they want. It's because
that's actually how the pro racers race before they get out there.
It is that good.
It's that good.
Formula One, you know, NASCAR, Indy, all of the dirt track. It doesn't matter, right? All the tracks are so realistic. Every bump, every crack,
I know,
on the asphalt for 2.5
Even
miles
temps,
is in the game. Yes,
everything. I mean,
rebounds and oh god,
but that's where I think really we're at. You know, whether it's Industrial Revolution is big, it's definitely going to be bigger. That's what's crazy.
Check this out. Hold on. Check this comment out. Voice to text still sucks. You know, so that's a really good point, isn't it? One of the things that everybody, if you have a smartphone, one of the things that everybody uses, voice to text, and it sucks. You would think
unless you're on the new 17 Pro Max and you have the beta software on.
I got it right here.
Yeah.
Got it right. You know what I love about the 17 is the new camera button.
Yeah, that came on the 16, but it really feels more better on the 17.
Right. I never used it on the 16.
You know what's kind of scary? Because it's like there's something about 2025. Like there's this, like we're talking about AI. We're talking about these like kind of really deep questions of where things are going. The iPhone 17 was built actually to do something that it hasn't been able to show us yet. It has cooling in the back, right? It's got ready to do these extreme processing, but there is nothing yet out there for it, and that means Apple's going to release something.
I haven't turned any of it on. When I got the 17, and it's 16 too. It was because the 16 was built for AI for the new iOS. But anyway, when you get the phone and it's prompting you through, I was like, nope, and I have no AI.
Well, Apple's AI is really weak, boring.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, but
I honestly wouldn't know.
But they've prepared us with the phone for what they haven't revealed yet, which is more like you could run an AI, full LLM model on your phone.
Right.
And that's really what I think people are going to have to see in 2026 is like everything's being redefined. So like, I know how much you love music, but I don't know if you've seen Warner has signed with Stuno.
Music and I don't
Universal signed with another AI company, right? So it's all moving to AI music.
Yeah. Have you seen this new AI? So this backdrop that I have is green screen. It's pretty good.
Right.
This is the new technology. It looks real, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally.
And you know what you can do with this new technology? And this is one of the things that I embrace about
AI. So
you
do use AI.
Well, see, it looks real, right? Like I roll back, right? And this all looks real. And with the new technology, you can do this.
Yours is real.
Yeah, it looks real, doesn't it? It's AI.
Mine's real. But no, actually, though, the AI that's built in now to everything for backgrounds, and even you don't need a green screen. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, I know.
But that's what the astrology says is that everything's being redefined. That's going to be the big thing that I'm going to say here is that with Saturn, Neptune meeting in Aries at 0 degrees of Aries,
and
that happens February 20th, Hasn't happened since 4361 BC.
Wow.
So it's the very beginning of the zodiac. Saturn and Neptune take 36 years to come around the sun and meet, and they're happening. And this is the last big conjunction of 2 or more planets meeting in the same place.
Right.
And that's what, since the beginning of 2020 was about, was these big conjunctions. And this is the end of those conjunctions of all the big. So if we think about the last 6 years, which was the beginning of COVID, basically, that's literally, we're coming to the end of these major conjunctions.
Let me ask you this. The last time that you were on the show, we started to talk about this, but now we are here, right? Today is literally, I had to look at the calendar to confirm. Today's the 30th. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. Okay. It's winter solstice is now in the rear view. You know what I mean? Okay. You had very directly made a couple of comments. So graphically, I'm going to use my hands a little bit. And correct me because I may have this wrong, but you had said we're still are going to do this until February 20th. But from February 20th forward through 2026, it's going to be pretty kick-ass if you want it. Do you still feel that way?
100%. And also, I said with 3A Atlas that the perihelion moment would not be that big a deal.
Yes, you did.
And I said not until it reaches Jupiter. And that's what's happening over this next month, right? So right now it almost feels like with the 3A Atlas thing, like people have kind of like somewhat given up hope. It might be something else and all that. And I said on that show, trust me, the big bang is about Jupiter. When it gets there, that's where we're going to see some sort of massive discovery. And that's what these first couple weeks into the end of January will be, is this amazing alignment with all the planets, heliocentrically and geocentrically, that are all going to be with 3I Atlas. So all the planets are about to align with 3I Atlas. And that's what's going to really kick it off.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
Right? So like we've been watching its unique, as it's been transiting in its orbit, that really is, it's made its own little like kicks, which is not normal. Like, hey, I'm kind of going to kick my orbit a little bit this way. But what we haven't seen yet is all the planets to align. We've seen, it's crossing Mars. Oh, it's getting, it's the closest to the sun. We just saw it closest to the Earth. Okay. That's like the old way of looking at things. But like when you really zoom out and you look at, oh my God, everything's coming to alignment. Like it's like a ballet, dude. If you look at the next 2 weeks of a heliocentric chart and you look at the sun at the center and you look at 3A Atlas and you see Jupiter, you see Mars, Venus, the sun, everything, and Pluto, you're just gonna be like, what is, something's happening.
So I have my solar map here, and if you look, everybody, you really can't see it, but
you can see Saturn, Neptune together.
Right, all in a line.
Right.
It's crazy. Pluto's out of
whack.
That's
my background too. My phone.
I love this. I love it. It seems like,
but you could start to see where the sun is. Everything's about to have that alignment in this next week.
It's straight in, man. Mercury's popping in.
Mars, Venus. Yep.
Yeah.
And
all
then
on one side.
The other side, Earth going to be aligning with Jupiter, and they're all going to be exact on January 9th. And then 3A Atlas is going to begin its opposition to Pluto. It's going to be fireworks about 3A Atlas in 9 days coming up.
Everybody, if you've got an iPhone, get the solar position. It's crazy. And most people think, well, man, they don't really move that fast. Well, it's crazy.
Unless you're watching Mercury. Mercury does move fast.
Yeah, it does move fast. But when you look at it month to month, right, and you just kind of glance down, I mean, this seems like it just popped up, man.
If you look at it too,
you can see the straight line right there. Look at that.
Right. What's wild is you're going to see all the planets on just half of the whole zodiac in the next couple of weeks too. So all of them just on one, less than 180 degrees apart.
So what do you think? Oh, man, Kim came in with my question just as it was coming out of my mouth. What do you think is going to happen? Will we feel it on January 9th?
That one is for sure a yes. To me, if we go to the interpersonal work, spiritual wise, it's a moment where what is my purpose is the big question, and that right now it might feel like I don't know what's next, but just over this next 10 days till we get to there, something is finally going to arrive that's going to make it's going to feel better than it's felt in 15 years. That might sound crazy, but
That's amazing.
right? Like, wow, this is a path that I feel like I'm meant to go on. And everybody's going to feel that calling within themselves. Now, world-wise, globally, mundane-wise, I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff with military that's been happening. There's definitely like things are going to have to come to a head when it comes to this stupid war shit. And unfortunately, that sometimes becomes a stupid move. But, at the same time, like something has to give somewhere. And that we're coming into the alignment where something has to give. And bonds are broken and bonds are formed.
The comments that my astrologer friends have been giving me over the last couple of weeks, and they all seem to want to dispense with all this extra advice at the end of the year. I appreciate that and stuff. But they've all said the same thing. Jimmy, your chart is pretty incredible for just
For
on any given
2026,
day.
yeah.
But going into 2026, everything is there. But everybody has said the same thing. Do not relax. You need to act on the stuff. The opportunities are going to be there. Everything is in your favor, but nothing is free. And it's weird to get these comments. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there is nothing but a fresh sheet of paper in many ways, but that doesn't mean that we just rewrite every part of our life. We want to take some parts we like into the new vibes, which is weird because, we think of a new year, but it's really never really a new year. This calendar system, the Gregorian calendar system, is so messed up already. It's not in alignment with all the calendar systems. There's so many of them, but especially the ancient ones. But we always think of a new year as this new start, right? It's weird, though, that this new year is really about the year of being about a new start. So how that looks for people, it's like, okay, what patterns am I done doing within myself and my own life? That takes action. And that takes you taking a new action within yourself. It's also not trying to prove yourself anymore. That Pluto in Capricorn, that was 2008 to 2024. 2025 was the first year where you could start to see people not needing to try and, I need to look, that I'm the best at this, or I'm the top of that. Nobody cares about that anymore. The more like kind of fame you become, people kind of get turned off by it now, right? That out of that true purpose now is something that really doesn't matter how many likes you get or how many, right? It's just about whether or not it feels aligned and it's doing good. And so I think that's a great thing. Where we're at now, though, with this new start is like, what does that new world look like? And that's where I think the big complication is, because the complications are always us thinking too much or trying too many different things till we kind of get spun out, like we're on a chalkboard writing this as an equation and think that we're an Einstein and trying to figure out the next theory of everything, when it's like, maybe it's not so complicated. I think it's a lot about people having to open up and learn to receive and connect with people again, because that's a problem. With Pluto and Aquarius now, the problem is, even though things are cool, like, ooh, this is exciting in life or whatever, it's never felt more closed off. If I used to be in the club industry, there was just, videos. If you go to LA club scene, it doesn't exist anymore. You go to these big cities, there's nobody going out and like connecting as much anymore, right? It's very limited. And that's where the problem starts, and we have to all start to find, like, how do you like have your moment on your phone? And then I think the future is definitely going to be now, leave your phone at the door. Kind of how like some homes do, like keep your shoes at the door. Like, can you keep your phone in the phone thing here? Right.
I have that rule at my house. Whenever I have a dinner party, no phones at the table.
So I think that's going to be the only way we're going to be able to gauge what's human and not, because it's almost going to feel like a trap technology with Pluto and Aquarius. like it's almost going to feel like, because already with people don't even know the difference anymore, because 94% of ads now on Instagram, Facebook, everything is AI now, right? AI video and AI picture. So you think you're looking at a human being. Even all the like major banks, you know, like you go to a Chase Bank now, they don't hire an actor or a model anymore and take a picture and pay them a good amount. They just have a really good AI picture made, and they don't have to worry about that person paying them nothing.
Sick days, complaining, wanting a
Right.
raise.
Well, I'm just saying, like, in the context of like, it almost feels like they live, because it's kind of like, like
It
you
is
have to have
they
your
live.
AI glasses on to kind of be like, that's AI, that's not real. Okay. Right. And so like, I think the big things are going to come, like the watermarking of the imagery or videos being used, right? Deep fakes with government officials that look so real that people believe it. That something's going to have to be defined here to help people understand what's real. It reminds me of Inception. They have their little token, right? Leonardo DiCaprio at the very end of the movie, he finally gets his kids, all that shit. And it ends with the token. Does it fall? Does it stay up? Is he in a dream? Is he not? That's what we're entering into.
Have you seen, oh, by the way, whenever I am on a website, look, I've got a lot of companies that I work with and that I have to deal with. It doesn't matter if it's Southern California Edison, whatever website, I'm there. And that little chat bot, hi, how may I help you today? I'm like, first off, you're not human. Click, right? And I just won't tap out for that. I can't do it. But you're right. And for some of these companies, I think that they're starting to wake up that us, the paying customer, we don't like it. We want to talk to a human on the phone. We want to call into a call center. I don't care if it's in India. I want somebody real to pick up the phone. If I'm going to chat with somebody there, I want to chat with a real person. And a lot of companies are now doing just that. They tried it and the experiment failed.
It might have failed, but it kicked back up because now the new voice generators can read your emotion fully.
Oh man.
So the new studies in the last month over it, like one's Hume AI and their AVI model, meaning that when you talk to it, or if it has your webcam on, it knows every feeling you're going through, the crackle in your smallest part of your voice, how you talk. It knows the exact feeling, and you would never believe that was an AI talking to you now. It's that good.
Have you seen the new series, The Copenhagen Test?
No, but I need to kind of find one because a lot of great shows in 2025. Holy crap! By the way,
yeah, a lot of great stuff.
Amazing
for sure.
Like,
yeah, and Stranger Things, man, Stranger Things. Wow, finally wrapped up. One episode left in Stranger Things. But the Copenhagen Test, it's good, man. It's, you know what? You just want to escape and watch some scary shit.
Yeah, I guess
it fits the bill. I dig it. Plus, it's in Indiana, so there's that part. But I like Stranger Things, and they've managed to. All the kids are grown up. They're little kids originally, right?
Right. I've seen like the first season parts of it, and I liked it. I just haven't. That's the only one I haven't.
Okay. All right. Well, it's season 5 now. Anyway, the Copenhagen Test.
I'll check that one
there
out.
was a TV show out of Canada called Kim's Convenience, a comedy. Brilliant. And you want to watch something good? Watch Kim's Convenience. Just go. Right. It's a comedy. It's light. I don't like comedies that have a laugh track. I want the real dialogue, Watch Kim's Convenience. Kim's Convenience anyway, the brother on that, Simu Liu, is the star of this series. And I always liked him on Kim's Convenience. He's just a really good actor. Anyway,
what network is it on?
But it's Peacock. Anyway,
nice.
But check this out. Kim's Convenience is on Netflix, but back to the Copenhagen Test, which is on Peacock. The Copenhagen test is exactly what we're talking about right now. Check this out. In a weird way, Seamu works for the NSA. He gets, and you find this out in the first, I'm not giving anything away, all right? But he finds out that he was dosed with nanobots in prescription pills that he was taking for anxiety or whatever. And the nanobots attached and built themselves on his brainstem and intercepted his vision and his hearing and broadcasted it out via Wi-Fi from his brain to Russia.
I love it.
Right. So now, so he doesn't know. So now his whole, just this alternative reality that we live in, right? So his entire daily existence is dealing with mentally knowing that everything that he sees, somebody else is seeing at the same time. Everything that he hears, somebody is hearing it, but he doesn't know who. All right. Now,
yeah, like who's controlling the nanobots?
Dude. And we are the TV series is so well done that with the technology that we have right now, the way that it's presented here, like, man, we're like 30 days away from this bullshit being real, right?
Right.
What would stop? You know, you're taking your, I don't know.
Didn't you just do a story today about the NASA clean rooms that 26
you
unknown what are they, like
brand new self-modified species
gene, right?
They called it in the press release species.
Right, to me it's
microorganisms, growing.
I know
in a
that
mass
like
clean
COVID scared people. This is not to scare, it's not even about scaring people, but like that's where it's kind of like, well, what is that? How did it survive that room? Of course it got into that room because, I mean, they just brought those pieces of that one asteroid in, right? And they gave us that, and they found new
Bennu and Ryugu.
Right? So
yeah.
Did that just like pop out while they were in there?
And here's the crazy part about it. They said that they modified themselves to survive.
That's like a nanobot.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
That dude, when you did that story, because I found it by you, I was like, whoa, dude, that's next level. It's almost too big that I'm like,
it can't be true. It's bullshit. It can't be true. Yeah, it can't be true. And it is. Yeah.
Or the fact that, you know, 3i Atlas just passed Earth, and that thing's the tails on it are massive. We're gonna go through, as Earth is orbiting right now, we're gonna go through that tail dust and whatever interstellar dust or nickel and all these other things, right? That's gonna come all over us. Now, how much that penetrates our atmosphere?
What part of that? What part of that is seeding?
Correct.
What part of that is sperm and egg? You know what I mean?
Exactly. So to me, it's like, oh, there's that interior wise now that we brought in, and then there's already the natural part of it coming out, right? That we'll be going through in the next like month or two here. So
and there was another
part of life here that's going to be part of the new stuff too, right? Like, like we talk about where's new life. It's like
right. Well, when we come back, I want to talk about 3i Atlas, and I want to go through all of the signs. We'll go through the zodiac, and we'll get the chat room fighting with each other about it. And I want the best Sag jokes that you can come up with tonight.
I don't know, but here's really sensitive about it, so I'm actually kind of like feeling like Michael Richards back in 2006.
That was a rough
break
night
from Sag jokes.
I loved Michael Richards.
Me too.
All the way back to In Living Color. Remember when he was so funny, so original, and everything else. Kramer, he just knocked it out of the park.
I know.
That one night at the
That one
Comedy
night
Store
ruined his whole career.
One night, I remember watching that video. I was like, well, I'm done with this guy.
I know.
And so is the rest of the world. But me personally, I mean,
Jerry Seinfeld brought him on, Coffee and Cars and all that, and was like, "You're the best instrument that ever played." And he really talked on there. He is hurt. He feels so bad. He's held that the whole time for like the last almost 20 years.
Yeah. I will never forget that video, man.
I know.
I will never.
No, because no comedian's ever lost it like that on a
not
stage.
Like that. And
at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood, like boom.
The Laugh Factory of all the places.
I know.
I did another story today on 3i Atlas. So I'm going to set this up and we'll take a break and come back and discuss this. But the Meerkat instrument, which is part of the South African telescope. That's what it's called, the South African telescope, and the Meerkat instrument, they call it. So it's been tracking and collecting data on 3i Atlas. And this is what they said. They said it's emitting radio signals, but they're natural. There is no alien tech emitting artificial signals. Now, they left it at that. And this is what here's the thing. We are looking for our technology. The instruments are set up for things that we know about, which is great. But it's not set up for looking for something that you know nothing about.
Right.
ET could be broadcasting and sending and receiving signals that we're just not, we don't have vision for, or the ability to see or hear or collect.
Yeah, we use 1/4-inch cords and RCA. And digital in and out. We might not be using another plug that we need.
A lightning cable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's so funny. Like they would just want to dismiss it. No, there's nothing. Man, they could be broadcasting and receiving and talking and communicating on a totally different time wave.
Right.
That to us is nonsense. And so we don't detect it, we don't even consider it, and we don't even look at it. It's not. If that was in the press release, if they said that, look, okay, what we've detected is natural radio signals. There could be something there that our instruments aren't set up to detect. We just don't know. That would be a true statement, wouldn't it?
Yeah. They were able to admit it about 26 new gene altering, self-altering new, species. In a clean lab.
I love this. We always have the smartest person in the room is in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, it's Moon at Noon. There's no ET. There's no ET. Tech has limits. There is a step above tech, Jimmy Church. Yeah. Okay. Are you a professor at MIT? Are you?
Or my rebuttal would be like, how do you think we got tech? Because after the first Roswell and the first saucers came down, that's when tech boomed and everything changed.
Here's the difference between me and the rest of the world. Some are like me, like you, but here's the major difference. I love being wrong.
Yeah. I'd rather shoot for it. It's like I'm going to shoot the half-court shot right now. And at least I missed, but at least if I got it in, that's even better.
That's exactly right. So my mind is wide open. Teach me, correct me. My life is one series of corrections, man. That's all it is, and that's it. People don't get that. I do not listen to me for facts. Don't do it, because I'll change my mind next week.
But there is a truth that when you look at the government, especially coming into the 1940s, and how much confidentiality there's been about ET, and we have plenty of proof now, and plenty of presidents, and plenty of stuff that's finally come out and unredacted to show, oh, they have been focused on this for almost 100 years now.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And
Hold
ancient
on.
civilizations have too, and it's been recorded, and people were seeing it way back in 2,000 years ago. All the civilizations have people recording these wheels in the sky, everything, all of it. So it's,
Yep. I reserve the right to change my mind. And I change it all the time. I do nothing but research. My concepts of cosmology, of astronomy, of astrology, science, physics, ancient history, current history, world politics, geopolitics
changes all.
Oh my God. And I remember when I was in school, I was like 20, 21. And I got my first civilizations book or something, whatever it was, right? This thick. And I remember, and I thought, well, I got all this shit dialed, right? I know all about everything. Man, it was crazy. And I soaked it up, David. I love history and ancient history. Ancient history, prehistory, and oh yeah, man, I love that stuff. And where I'm at now, I have done easily 1,000 course corrections.
I mean,
that's all I do.
But when we come back from the break, my teaser will be, why are we in Venezuela, and what was found there of an ancient civilization that had its own language and recordings just in the last year?
Interesting. Our guest tonight, David Palmer. David, you stay right there. It is our last show of the year. That's right. I'll be back in 2026. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. We're going to take a quick break. Stay with us.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get your alerts and access to over 2,000 videos. Click that subscribe button right now. Go to JimmyChurchRadio.com and get the Fade to Black official podcast. 2,000 episodes, all of them commercial free for just $2 a month.
I am hosting, speaking, and presenting once again for the Conscious Life Expo, the largest conference of its type in the world. February 20th through the 23rd, 2026 at the LAX Hilton. Speakers, event, and schedule easy. Just visit ConsciousLifeExpo.com. I will be hosting and speaking at the Sedona Ascension Retreat, March 20th through the 22nd, 2026 in Sedona, Arizona. An amazing list of speakers, and it's beautiful Sedona. Come and hang out with us and go to SedonaAscensionRetreats.com. I'm heading back to the Midwest for the Contact Modalities Expo, May 1st through the 3rd, 2026, in Delavan, Wisconsin, at the Lake Resort. It is beautiful. This is a great conference right in the heart of the Midwest, where I'm from. I'll see you there. Just go to Contact Modalities Expo, that's XPO.com. I will be hosting and presenting once again at Contact in the Desert. That's May 28th through June 1st, 2026, the largest UFO conference in the world. Come and hang out with us June 23rd through July 1st. Tickets and everything else that you need is at contactinthedesert.com. Want to change your life? Want that paradigm shift? Then visit Peru with Brian Forrester and myself for the Inca Celebration of the Sun, June 23rd through July 1st, 2026. A full 10 days of visiting the country, all of the amazing sights, and of course, the celebration of the winter solstice. It's all simple to do. Go to hiddenincatours.com. Come join us for the Monty Python Scotland Tour, August 1st through the 9th, 2026. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event where you get to go to the castles from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. August 1st through the 9th, 2026. Just visit HaleyARamsey.com.
Watch Into the Vortex on Gaia TV. It's fade to black for the screen. Simple to do. Go to Gaia.com, search Jimmy Church, or click on the link below. Follow Fade to Black on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Get all of the show updates every single day. It's now called X, but who cares? Go to jimmychurchradio.com and become a Fadernaut. Get a membership. That's right. Everything is commercial free. You have access to downloads, and you get to call yourself a Fadernaut.
Jimmy Church, Guy TV, Fade to Black, here at Machu Picchu with Brian Forrester and Hidden Inca Tours. Amazing tour so far, Brian, but we're here to announce what we're going to do next year in 2026. What's going on?
Okay, November 2026, we're going to have our major tour of Peru and Bolivia, either a pre or post tour of Paracas and Nazca on the coast. And then after that, 6 days in Easter Island.
Bucket list, Easter Island. Come join Brian and I and his amazing team here at Hidden Inca Tours for Peru, Bolivia, and Easter Island. Signing out. Say bye, Brian.
Bye, gang.
River Moon Coffee, makers of the Fade to Black blend. Truly the best coffee on planet Earth. Just visit rivermoonwellness.com or their Amazon store. It's all simple to do. You can check out the Fade to Black blend, the Game Changer blend, or any of their Black Moon Wellness products. It's the only coffee I drink. It is the best, and it's Doc. Again, rivermoonwellness.com.
All right. Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, the one and only David Palmer is here, the Leo King, wrapping up 2025. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. Again, Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. Dave is the absolute very best. And I just asked the chat, I said, how many astrologers do we have in the chat tonight? And it's all coming in. I love your community and the astrologers that follow astrologers and hang out and stuff. It's so fun, and I totally dig it, and I dig the chat tonight. I did want to reflect on your comment earlier about Michael Richards, about the Sagittarius. I just want to be very clear. One of the first times that I had David on the show was many years ago. And so we were going through, and it was the chat that started cracking the jokes and the humor, right? It was the chat. It wasn't you and I. I was too new to it. I wasn't new to astrology, but I was new to the community. And I rather enjoyed that moment. And that's what I was talking about. So I've never forgotten that. And I seem to bring it up every time David is on the show. All right. Now, for transparency to everybody here, I don't do politics on the show. I don't do religion. I'll do the conspiracy of politics. I'll do the conspiracy of religion, two very fun subjects. But I don't discuss right and left. I don't discuss our commander in chief, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. I just don't do that. It divides everybody. I don't do negativity. So with all of that, when I look around the world, David, at the geopolitical situation, and of course, there's Gaza and there's Ukraine, there's
Taiwan,
Taiwan,
Venezuela.
and right now, of all the things where we're trying to put out these fires and peace talks and all of this, it seems like for no reason things are heating up in our own backyard with Venezuela. And your comments right before the break, they resonate with me. There's something else going on there. I don't think it's the obvious thing where people, oh, it's oil, it's this, it's that, it's drug. No, I think there is something else driving this, and that's what you were alluding to. So let's go there. What's going on?
So last year in 2024, they discovered a whole ancient civilization that was never discovered before. So that's not a normal thing. And it's over 4,000 years old. And the cave writings are very different looking. Like there's similar ones in Brazil, but still not the same. And it went very there's been a lot happening in the last couple of years. So nobody really talked about it. And it was just a lot of like local Venezuela, South American like news that kind of reported it. And then like not a lot of archaeologists have really gone down there yet to do more exploration, but it's a whole new ancient civilization. And it happens to be in the same valley of where the oil and gold is. And remember, last time I was on the show that we're coming into the transit where out of nowhere, they thought humans didn't have anything 6,400 years ago, right? They were just hunter-gatherers beginning. But then there was that dude with the gold, remember I showed you, that had all the gold, right? And then it's so weird that what's been happening in Venezuela over these last couple of years is illegal gold mining by citizens and companies and stuff in the same valley. And so there's a ton of gold in Venezuela. It's not just the oil, it's the gold. And this ancient civilization was surrounded in that valley in it. And I've tried to myself to pick what's up on those cave writings. They're beautiful pictures. And of course, it's pointing at the stars. It's very simple to see, but I think that there's more there when it comes to like whenever there's an ancient civilization that's found and happens to be surrounded by gold and oil, there's something else going on. And so, they could always say in the geopolitics, like, well, that's because there was an illegal election there, right? Which is so funny because it's just like, okay.
You have to have a public facing. Yeah, you have to have a public facing excuse.
Right. But like for us to, when I was in the US Navy and I was on an F-18 squadron, like we laughed when, or any of our XOs and COs would laugh at us when we're like, will we ever go like on a tour down in South America? Never. And this is 20 plus years ago, but it was like never. Like the idea of going to South America in an aircraft carrier was a joke, right? We just go up. If you're in the Pacific, you just go up and down the Pacific for little trainings and then to the Middle East, maybe to Russia or some other place, but never South America.
Hey, do you remember the Peruvian face peelers a couple of years ago? Okay. What was going on at the same time? Military drills.
Yeah, military stuff. Okay.
Britain was there. The United States was there. All of the South American countries were participating in this. And we had every single piece of tech, right? Everything was there at the same time. It was like a very
because like this whole rare earth minerals thing, right? To make chips, to make all this extra stuff that who knows, some of it might be just like to wash money, but there's obviously some sort of like things we're trying to create that are way not looking at the traditional coal like we used to hundreds of years ago, or now even oil is kind of like, well, we just need extra power right now for all these data servers and stuff. But to make where we want to go next, there's this obsession with rare earth minerals. Silver's up to $74 an ounce right now. Gold is through the roof.
And Bitcoin's tanking.
Bitcoin, right? So it's like, oh, there's a country that happens to have a weird situation where people contest the election, and there's been bad things done there. And there's this ancient civilization. It's surrounded by all these rare earth minerals, and it's got tons of gold and oil.
Every civilization, everyone, pick a country and look at it. Those ancestors, thousands and thousands of years ago, were where the gold was.
Always.
Every single one. Yeah. You know, look at Peru, look at Mexico, look at Egypt, right? Mesopotamia.
Big time.
Yeah, it's just absolutely nuts.
That's the one thing. The last time we had the transit we're stepping into in February was when I showed you that one human they found drenched in gold, and there was no gold mines. There was no, like, what happened? Like, how did this guy get all the gold? What's going on? Why did somebody have a gold 6,400 years ago, like in jewelry form, and like surrounded himself in it, and nobody else?
Those pictures were crazy.
Crazy, right? So it's like, okay, there's something about connection to gold for some reason. I'm not saying that might be it, but I'm an astrologer who has to look at the past and go, okay, what came up? And when you're going into prehistory, to find something is lucky. And to find that was like, wow. Because I used astrology to get to that. It's not like every day I'm going to search for what happened in 4361 BCE. Just randomly, right? Prehistory is really bad. There's not much. I think people think that we just have all these records of like things going back far away. We really don't.
No, we don't. We don't. I talk about that so much. What you just said was an amazing point. Everything that we look at right now, there's a few exceptions. Okay, there's a few countries. India is an example of it's still there, right?
They have not changed their viewpoint.
China, right. There's a few things that are still there, but Egypt came and went. Mesopotamia came and went. Greece came and went, right? Rome.
Or they just, Baal turned into Jupiter.
Yeah, well, see, but that's okay. So when we look at Peru, most of the countries in South America can be thrown into this, but Peru specifically, and ancient Egypt, these were civilizations that were upright, doing incredible things. We don't need to spend time on that. Doing incredible things that were forgotten. They were the absolute pinnacle of everything, and then disappeared. And everything that we know about them now is from a modern context. We don't have books to read. We don't. No.
And then whoever went through, like when the conquistadors came in and took over the Aztecs and the Incas, when they went into Peru, ironically, like one of the conquistadors took like one of the wives of one of the tribes, and then that created a war, and they eventually killed that conquistador, which he deserved that one to come. You steal some, Incan's wife. Like, what the heck? That's kind of creepy. But like, and that we're in the same astrology as that, when the whole Spanish came over and took out all the Incans and then the Aztec Empire. And what did they do? They raided everything and they took it to Spain. And then who got really what? And I mean, that's how John Dee got his obsidian, right?
Yep.
Through that, because he's, Queen Elizabeth I, like bestie. So,
well, but
that's some pull to get that, right? Like, here you go.
Totally. When you walk around now, I don't want to sound like I'm Marco Polo or some, archaeologist, world traveler, geologist, historian.
But you do that though.
But I do it. And when you walk amongst like I have, when you walk through this stuff and you look, everything is tied to the stars. All of it.
Right.
All of it. Everything. Orientation, sun wheels, sundials, calendars, zodiacs, constellations, the representation about planets. How Galileo, his telescope, right?
Right.
It's long, right? He's looking at that was the most advanced, him and Copernicus, right? The most
Right.
advanced
But
telescope.
Galileo did the work on the moon to really go, what's on, there's craters. This is what's the curvature. Oh, I see Jupiter's moons through following these stars and this fixed star shit. Oh, wait, Jupiter has these other stars moving in every day.
At least he had a polished lens.
And he was one of the first guys to make a telescope ever.
That's right.
On his own.
I remember his writings when he got
the
his
Starry
new
Messenger.
When he got his new telescope, right?
Yeah.
He's got a little pole he set it on. That was his tripod, right? And he was so excited about it that and it was bigger. Anyway, the ancients look at their knowledge of, because I don't know, well, David, I've done enough stargazing with you out there looking at the stars. Your knowledge of the stars is, but you have references to go and look at and read. Back then, they didn't know planets from stars or anything else, supposedly, but yet it's all represented 5,000 years ago in stone. It's like, how did that go down? And I see it.
They weren't doom scrolling.
They were doom scrolling,
right? Like their doom scrolling was looking up, like, oh my gosh, look at this new story coming through. Look at this new post. Look at this and that, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're just like the opposite of looking up.
You go to a place like, well, you can pick a place. It doesn't matter. Stonehenge, Avebury, doesn't matter. Go to Peru, go to Bolivia. You go to Bolivia and you go to Tiwanaku and go and
have a Bolivian night
and go and look at the Sun Temple, the Sun Door, where it's sitting. This mass is it's crazy. I don't know how many football fields you can fit inside the walls there, but there the Sun Temple sits at the end. Now, that's all astronomically aligned. And it was important. And you look at what's carved on the Sun Gate, right? And you look, and it's like they aligned the whole. You're on a mountaintop, man, right? And they're aligning this to something out there. And now here's the other thing. With software, where you can look at star charts, right? Look at the position of everything. You can back it up as far as you want. A million years ago, you could see where everything is at, right? The only alignments that work for Tiwanaku and Pumapunku are 15,000 years old. 15,000 years old.
Right.
Nothing else aligns until then. And you go before that and it goes back out of whack. 15,000 years ago, man, before the end of the last ice age. How crazy is that? And back then,
it reminds me of that MIT professor who just died, right? That was really crazy that he put out his paperwork about the pole flips that have to happen. And
dude, that was incredible. Dies.
And he's going into the same cycles that you just talked about that far back.
Right.
And he's like the smartest guy when it comes to fusion.
He died the next day.
I know. He was part of that whole shooting at Columbia somehow. They say, but I'm like, I don't know. Why would what is up with that?
Absolutely incredible. When I talked to Michio Kaku about Pumapunku, right? And this is many years ago. And Michio and we were alone for about 8 hours. And and I was just starting out in radio, and he had his radio show, and it was a good time. Anyway, I go, hey, so Michio, that's what you do when you're friends, right? So Michio, right. So what about Puma Punku? And he goes, what's that? I said, well, man, it's this megalithic formation down in Bolivia, and they estimate that it's 15,000 years old. And he goes, what? Megalithic? Rocks? I go, yeah. 15,000 years ago. I go, yeah. Because I don't want to talk about it. I go, what? He goes, 15,000 years ago. It's before the last ice age. You can't measure. I said, no, but there's a celestial alignment that goes back to. Stop. He did not want to go there. It was crazy. I was like, aren't you even open to this? No. Let's change the subject. Now he's changed his tune.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say he's been giving his opinions on 3i Atlas a lot. He's been kind of like the alternative view of like Avi Loeb lately.
Well, before
Kinda,
we get
tried to be.
I do want to go down through the signs. Let me ask you this really quick. Where are you on 3i Atlas? I think
I'm
it's
still
ET.
on my same thing I told you on the last show, right? That it's a messenger that's going to have every telescope looking at it. And then we're getting to Jupiter. We're going to be looking at Jupiter, and Jupiter's going to be the brightest it's been in hundreds of years, by the way. That's when we're going to see, just as Galileo did when he was looking out at Jupiter, oh, he found the moons, but he also didn't realize he found Neptune, right? Mm-hmm. We just found that out 4 years ago in his journals, that actually somehow that dude found Neptune. It was the exact alignment with Neptune, Jupiter, right? So what people aren't seeing yet is that there's something about it's trying to get our attention to look in that area and discover something. So 3i Atlas is the doorway to a way bigger discovery. But it's the key to unlock that door, to have everybody off doom scrolling and look up from this January into February and be like, holy shit, what's that?
Oh man, I can't wait.
I've said that since the beginning. I've been like, this, but it's not natural to me, the way that it's got intelligence and the direction and the way that it's the same ecliptic plane and what it's been doing. How many pictures look that thing has changed forms. I mean, in every way you can think of. Colors, shape, the fastest object to ever be witnessed.
Propulsion.
Right? Yeah. All of it. Yeah. We've literally gotten everything that's never been seen before. So what's that going to end with? The big bang of something we've never seen before, even bigger, that it's going to show us.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible. It's not done. All right, let's go through some signs.
I'll just go down the list. Aries, the big Saturn, Neptune coming into your sign, and this is going to last a long time. Neptune and Aries here for over a decade. There's going to be a lot of relief for Aries, feeling like, you know what? I feel like I've been in the mud and I've been spinning full throttle and getting not anywhere and feeling like I'm there. I've been chasing a carrot and never getting there. And it's going to feel like you start to get somewhere in your life, but then you're going to go, I get it. Was this what I really wanted in my life? So Aries are going through like a whole complete kind of like realization that what they thought they wanted and who they thought they were. It's almost like an identity crisis. That's a positive one. That's forming this new identity and like new interests. Uranus coming into Gemini now for the next 7 years. We're seeing the ultimate alignment of all the outer planets in harmony and Jupiter all at the same degree as we on July 20th. And that is going to be crazy coming in the eclipses in August. And for Aries, that's going to be, holy cow, a whole new identity and world that that's why I was stuck. It wasn't to get what I thought I wanted. It was to get this new thing that shows up. And I think that for Aries, it's like you don't have to push so hard anymore. It's more about what your intention is for what you're defining, and that it could go a lot easier if you define it to be aligned truly with yourself, that maybe it wasn't that something was off. It was just that you weren't picking the right thing.
Now, I want to say this to the chat. As we go through this, David just spoke about Aries. If you're an Aries or whatever sign
Aries
we're on,
ascendant,
yeah, whatever sign we're on, comment in the chat and let us know if it resonates with you.
It'll bring up relationships for them too, because anytime you're on the 1st or the 7th house, it's going to bring that stuff up. And so they're going to have some complications with this new identity. And that means, does my partner or the kind of partner I want align with what I want in my life? So there's definitely going to be some relationship situations there that become, like, how will my partner handle this? Is my partner on the same page as me? And Aries have to find a way to also realize that, there's lots of people out there, but what are the people that are right for this new version of you with Pluto and Aquarius that's going to be in trine to Uranus and Gemini? You can't be around people that don't have the same spark and interest. It's getting too boring. So Aries are going to feel like maybe they're being too selfish, but really it's more like the energy is stale and you need to get out of it.
Somebody might be in the chat. I can't remember who it was, but somebody made a comment to me about my relationship status. And I said, what are you talking about? My Facebook page, right? I was like, what? So I went and I changed it, right? To
Would you change it to like
single? I should have put it's complicated, but so I put single anyway. But I had a moment of self-reflection. I was like, man, I've been single for 5 years.
It's so funny because when I get to Libra, it's like it's all about relationships.
Well, okay, we'll get there eventually. But it just makes me wonder: am I going to be one of those?
No, it's the opposite for Libras.
Am I going to be one of those clients that goes to my astrologers and goes, okay, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, by the end of 2026, it's going to be like, no, Jimmy, don't let her be a host on the show.
Oh, okay. Let's go to Taurus.
All right, so Taurus. Tauruses, I think, are going to have one of the more interesting ones because, I mean, whether you look at Candace Owens or like Tucker Carlson, I'm just using like people that are really big and in our news all the time right now. And they're both Tauruses. And there's Uranus that came back here and is finishing up here. It's like the old you no longer will work, but also this new you, how far away from the tracks did you go? So you might have been cool and you might have found some innovative, new, cool things to be, but there is this, now you got to go do something with it and create, which Tauruses love to do. But, there is this part of it when it comes to their career and their reputation. They have to show something that's of value and keep communicating that value in new ways. They can't just kind of just sit on something that they like to do and just say, this is what it is. It'll die out faster now than ever. You have to stay on top of it and keep reinventing how you are putting out your values to the world now. And there is this spark in you to do all that. It also is going to be very interesting, Jupiter finishing in Cancer and then coming to Leo, because it's like, can you be comfortable in this really uncomfortable yet exciting new version of yourself? 100% you can, but you're going to have to realize that comfort comes from not when you get everything you want and then everything makes you happy. That's the opposite. It's going to be the bull that's running, not the one that's sitting, that's going to be comfort. So I see a great year for them, but I do think that, when it comes to their career worlds, they have to reinvent themselves in a new way when it comes to what they're creating, what they're putting out there. And they can't keep doing the same thing and thinking that it's going to create anything new. It won't. So, and they're going to have to understand where people are at with it. They're going to have to not bring their personal lives into it so much. And so
that doesn't resonate with me at all. Right.
Well, that's Taurus.
You know what I mean? And so again, if you're a Taurus, I want your comments about what David did. Does it resonate with you? I find that just
Well, and Saturn and Neptune coming into their 12th house is like, yeah, there is a huge part of your life coming to an end that feels like it almost might be ripped away, but it's for the best reason. And so, Taurus has kind of got this really high, like, ooh, this is cool. I see what's possible, but at the same time, what's not good for you spiritually is fully going to have to start to come out. So they can't hide behind addictions or anything that is holding them back, because they keep using the excuse like, this is holding me back. Well, your shame, your guilt, your I'm not good enough isn't going to cut it anymore.
Wow, that's strong, man. That's
so
strong.
it's going to be Geminis have one of the more really radical ones, because Uranus coming into Gemini. Holy shit. We thought you guys were already crazy. Let's see the coolest part of your crazy. That's what it's really about. I think Geminis are going to be one of the more interesting signs of all time over the next 7 years. They are getting a lot of positives. The air and the fire signs are the ones where we're moving into the next chapter. So the last 15, 16 years has been about earth and water. Not anymore. Air and fire now. So if you're an air and fire sign, it's like, finally, the world's going to feel kind of like it was 20 years ago when it was that fire and air kind of energy, which we all miss very deeply. If you are an air fire sign, we miss the rock and roll everywhere. We miss the energy that was thriving. We didn't like this last 15 years of everybody having tea in a blanket. So
having tea in a blanket.
Yeah.
On
a Friday night at 7 p.m. Like, what?
Before we get to Cancer, I look back. I don't want to be nostalgic here, but when I look at all of the decades that I've experienced, the different eras, I gotta say, man, the 80s ruled. I don't know what it was with astrology, and
it was Saturn and Pluto that were in Jupiter, all in Libra to kick it off, and then we came into Pluto into Scorpio, the home of Scorpio. And so like the 80s started with this really like Libran like art, and then let's do the deepest part of the art. Let's just take off all the censorship of art. And so that's why you see Madonna, the sex movement. Of course there was AIDS, but there's really this like intensity that's allowed to come out for the first time. People allowed to live how they want to live. And that's what makes it different than any other decade. Is like it's the decade that was about, this is who I actually am, and I'm not going to be afraid to be it, and I'm going to show it off, and I'm going to fully connect with it. Because humans as society, we never did that. I mean, you could say Elvis tried. Sure. He got close, but he still had weird. We all did back in the day, but not after the 80s. It was the hall pass for humanity to fully embrace the uniqueness of what it is.
That is spot on. And there's another thing about the 80s that it wasn't like this in any other decade. The 80s, every single day was an adventure. Every single day was going out, exploring events. Of course, the live music, but there was everything. There was a night, there was a thing there. It was like every single day. Okay, man.
That was Uranus and Sagittarius too, by the way, in the 80s.
It was absolutely.
And now we're coming into Uranus in the opposite side, Gemini. So even though it's the opposite, it's also the same color, just two different shades, meaning that adventurous nature is coming back after, 40 plus years here.
Yeah.
But
all
there's
the big personalities were there for us to walk next to. It was just absolutely incredible. Okay.
So it'll be Geminis, and that's where it was about big Sages back in the 80s, but now it'll be about big Geminis, and it'll be about Gemini thinks biggest like thing is like you need to explore more and stop always having to be kind of cutting yourself down by having to understand what you need to do. Sometimes it's okay to just say, I don't understand what this is, but I like it, and I'm going to go do it and see what happens. The ultimate adventure is calling for Geminis in their life, and they have to expand. So
you're right about that. You're right. And
they want to. I don't think they're going to fail. Like the only failure would be just not, but there's no way they will. So
I think about this is how free form the 80s was. Okay, this is how free form it was. Pink Aquanet hairspray, right? The pink can, right? The extra hole. Pink Aquanet. If you got down to a half a can, you got scared that you were going to run out of Aquanet. And that kind of free form lifestyle, that's gone,
just taking a lighter with that shit back in the day.
Yeah, oh man, that's so much fun, man. So
I mean, if you think about that's kind of the free form spirit of it. I mean, we're really moving into like the extroverted world again.
Yeah.
We've been in the introverted world for 17 years. Really 20 going to 2002 into 3.
I remember going into clubs, especially like the Rainbow, going into the Rainbow,
Right.
and it smelled like hair.
Like Ron Jeremy?
Yes. Wow, you went there. You went there. Okay.
I've been there many times, but I never was there when Ron Jeremy was there. But like,
he came to 2 of my
he had
parties.
his back little freaking.
Listen. Oh, okay, so check this out. I don't want to run out of time. We're on Leo is up next.
We're on Cancer, but I can go quick. So
okay, so I used to stopped at COVID, but I used to do the Fade to Black company party at the Rainbow. Rented the whole club. And,
no way.
And I didn't rent it; they gave it to me.
I met you. Right? I met you at the wrong. Well, we met at the divine time.
So anyway, place is packed. All Fade to Black T-shirts. 400, 500 people. It was amazing. So much fun. Ron Jeremy's there, right? And 2 years in a row, and all of the stuff that especially women, okay,
yeah,
but all the smack that was talked about him or whatever, right? When I was watching people meet him in person and watching their so good to meet you, I was like, wait a minute, yeah, it was really, really fun, and he's a nice guy. He came up to me. I'm on the mic. He's sitting. All the Fadernauts, and he comes up and he says in front of everybody, he goes, "You and I partied, didn't we?"
You're like,
I go, no, we did not, man. We need to stop that right now. No, you're thinking of somebody. No, it was I'm here to tell you, it never happened. All right. But it was the way that he said it and he carried him. It was just like a really nice guy. That's all I can say.
I think what's interesting about him is for Gen X and the baby boomer generation, like he probably is one of the more famous people in the world because of the fact that nobody's going to say they watched a Ron Jeremy porn, right? But like the fact is everybody's seen one with him in it, right? So actually more people have seen that guy than any person in the world.
Okay, this show just took a completely right-hand turn. Okay. We drove off.
That leads us to Cancer.
Okay, Leo. Let's go to Leo.
No, it leads us to Cancer. Cancer, real quick.
Cancer.
Saturn, Neptune. This is actually a cool place for Cancer because authority is where it's at. You have to take authority in your life. Now, Cancers have been backing up to the last minute to try and keep everything safe, to keep everything comfortable. I don't want to disrupt things. And they've been having this inner desire for what they really want, but they've been afraid to pull the trigger. In 2026, you have to pull the trigger. You can't keep, I want to keep everything together and safe. And no, you have to actually pull the trigger and go to what you must do. At the same time, with Uranus here, and it's good in Gemini, the universe is going to force that shit out if you don't take the authority yourself, which will not be happy. And then you'll be taking authority to get out of weirder situations. So, unfortunately for Cancer, there's a lot of uncomfort and discomfort, but the discomfort is the thing that you've already been sitting in. So it's just like you're already sitting in the shit. So might as well get out of it now. But it's just going to get up to your nose if you don't take, Cancers are beautiful people, Jupiter in their sign, so they're going to do great. But they don't see that there's so many amazing things of what they actually have always desired and wanted that are waiting for them. So they just have to kick that door down and go walk in that door finally. And stop holding back.
Again, if you're a Cancer, you're in the chat. I want to see your comments. Leo.
Yeah. Leo, I think it's authenticity of like, who you are. Everybody thinks you're an egomaniac, but actually you're not. Deep underneath, you're the most loving soul. But, you know, relationships, people, your beliefs are all going to come into this thing of like, all right, I want to be there for all these people, but how much can you carry? You can't lose yourself in taking on too much of other people, but then you can't do too much for just yourself. So it's going to be a very great year for Leo. I mean, if you were to watch any astrologer on TikTok, they're like, Leo's the best for 2026. But I always say be cautious, because too much of a good thing is a bad thing. And so this is where it's learning balance. And it's also learning, you know what, this is cool. I'm open to see this whole new direction, but let me remind myself here that I don't want to get too far away and lost into whatever it might be, and make sure that I understand what I'm getting into before I do, because it can really become like long-term permanence. I think Leos are going to go through the biggest ego, last of the ego kind of death, with the South Node coming into Leo and the eclipses in Leo that begin. And really, it's about relationships for them, and which ones really, because Leos love aliens, people that are way different than them and unique, but also the hardest ones to catch and keep a hold of. So, you know, that's going to be the thing is, you know, how much can you be with anybody that doesn't want to be with you? Or at the same token, how much can you be with people who want to be too much with you? And it's like, that's just not good. So Leos have to find that new place, but one that actually works, because it's almost like you can't run off the same way as you've been always doing when it comes to this. Like, you know, it's like you got to find where's that new sweet spot at, and accept you like the unique person. You don't like the basic, oh, you have a normal job, you have a normal life. That's so disgusting. Keep that. But how weird have you gone always?
Right.
Maybe not so much.
Do you ever take your own advice? Okay, moving on.
No.
Virgo. No.
You know why? Because if an astrologer did, they would actually, you know, I do in some places, but, you know, it's hardest to take your own advice.
Yeah, I know.
Virgo.
I give people ask me my advice. All right.
And it's spot on, but for yourself,
for myself, I back up and go, dude, why don't you listen to yourself?
That's the dilemma of the universe. That's why we need other people.
It is.
That's how we are supposed to be here for each other. That's the way it works. So, you know, Virgos, honestly, it's like they are getting out of the biggest stress case lifestyle that they have been living for, especially the last 3 years. But to be honest with you, this has been a very stressful 15, 16 years for you now. And it's coming to an end. And it's like, do you have to clean up the mess that you've gone through? It's more just like, no, this is a fresh new start. But like, before you commit in your life to people, so things like other people's debts, other people's dramas, their own traumas, like, you have to be very clear now about what you commit to in your life, because like, what caused all that stress? The commitments you made that you were like, no big deal, this will be fine, or I can fix this person, or I can fix, you know, with Pluto being in Aquarius, trining Uranus, this is a great time for Virgos, especially when it comes to like their careers and actually like finding like really awesome ways to fine tune something they're really into. But when it comes to those commitments, especially in relationships, you got to make sure you understand what you're signing before you really get in. You got to look at everything like a contract now, instead of everything is like, no big deal. I can fix it on the road, or I'll fix them. You can't do the fix them thing anymore. It's causing you too much pain and sorrow, and taking on other people's debts, other people's shit too much. So like, it's a great year, because I think you're going to find the work you've always wanted, but it's like, now you got to be very cautious about when you're going to commit full time to anything, including work. You better go through it fully before just, because then you take on things you weren't prepared for. And I think that Virgos are ready for that in their life. So there is kind of like a start without spiritual debt, but you could rack it up real quick the more you keep committing to too many things.
That's right.
So Libra,
I don't normally do this, but I'm going to do this right now. Android Paranormal is in the chat. Android Paranormal, Jay Anderson, was on Joe Rogan last week. And he mentioned me twice.
Damn.
So I'm gonna take this opportunity. I have gotten so many texts and emails about that church, right? And I didn't, I'm not gonna post on social or
Oh,
do
you
that.
need to. I was about to go into Libra too. It's so funny to be like,
but I'm just gonna say this right now. Thank you. It was incredible. He shoots me this email, and I'm just doing my thing, right? And I click and I'm reading the email because so Jimmy, Android here. Listen, I was just on Joe Rogan, and here's the timestamp. Just go and check this out. And I was like,
that's crazy,
dude.
Awesome.
Very cool, man. Very cool for him to do that. It was just part of the conversation,
I'm
and
gonna
he
go
just
watch
pointed
that now.
but
dude.
yeah,
Good.
it's right there. And yeah, it's it was very cool. It's very cool. I mean, even for me, I've been to the mountaintop, okay, all right. But that was pretty cool. That was I was like, wow. That was all right. That was all right. So, all right.
So Libras have a big year. Saturn, Neptune, and Aries, that opposes Libras. Their whole life is about relationships, supposedly. But if you were to talk to a Libra, they'd be like, not really. Right? They always go, no. But now it's like with Pluto in the 5th house of love, Saturn and Neptune in the 7th, Uranus coming into the 9th, Jupiter and Leo into 11th. Oh, shit. This is like the real shit coming for relationships. The issue is when it comes to friendships and always getting in between the battles or helping and trying to fix people, you got to pick sides now, which is very difficult for a Libra. Libras want to keep friends with everyone. And you know what? You're going to have to make calls now in your life in order to actually have the positive relationships where you're like, you know what? Okay, this side's not right. I'm choosing this side. Because you can't sit in between and torn in the middle.
Yeah. Now I'm resonating with that.
Right? Like it's like
that's my life.
Keep everybody friends and be the conduit for that. You can't just lay there as the bridge anymore and just expect everybody to keep. Okay, well they'll come over that side and they'll come. No, you can't lay that way anymore. Especially when there's a hot new honey or dude that's like, hey, you're gonna be like, I don't have time to be the bridge for this stupid shit.
That is my day. That is my day. You know what I do appreciate with my friends, it's a very small circle, right? You're a part of it, and a very small circle. But my friends that I trust and love, and love is easy to do. Trust,
right?
Woo, right? Who do you trust? That's different than love. Okay,
it's way different. Yeah,
you can be in love with somebody and they'll run,
but you're not going to have trust issues. Uranus coming out of Taurus into Gemini is like, I am ready to go. You know what? It's going to be so good. Whatever. It's going to be so succulent and so seductive. What's in front of you? You're going to be like, I don't even what trust.
Right. Well, and I'm who they call for help and advice. That'll
still be there, but when it gets to where people are asking you to do favors and do things that's pulling away from your own need now, it's okay to say, you know what, I can't, and they'll be like, oh yeah, no worries, I'll find somebody else. That you carry a load, Libra, that doesn't need to. That you're doing already too much when it comes to helping everybody. That you just doing and pulling back for yourself is already going to be more than standard normal of a normal person.
Right. Well, here's the thing with me, and then we'll move on to Scorpio, which, by the way, Scorpio is the sign that I always wanted to be. Right?
No.
Scorpio. No, I'm just saying, as a kid, I thought they had the best logo.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, the Scorpion's really cool.
The best logo.
It's got the stinger at the tail end of it,
and Scorpio.
And of course, it's where Antares sits, right? If you're looking at it,
right,
not using the tropical zodiac, but where we're at now, right? Like the big red giant star. I mean, that's what makes it the ruler of sex, right? Because it's the red on the black. That's why those are the two colors of sex and lingerie.
Is that no? That's bullshit.
That's not bullshit, dude. That goes back thousands of years, and like those were the colors that were always representative of sex, and all of it is connected to the stars. Everything in life is.
So I was in Egypt, and I'm walking through. Man, I want to say it was Abydos, Seti the First, but I'm walking through a temple, and I look at this wall. It's so beautiful, right? And I'm looking, and it's a pharaoh in a boat, and it's big, right?
Right.
It's ginormous. It's himself and like 8 women. I'm not making this up. In fishnet dresses. Yep.
Black ones?
Yeah. 4,000 years old. Man, that pharaoh's on the back of the boat, like, yeah, right.
Because black's the feminine and then red's the masculine.
It was crazy, man. Fishnet dresses, nude. You know what I'm saying, right?
Right. Yeah. No.
Wow.
That's where Muhammad stole his idea of what he thinks paradise is.
I stopped and I looked at that forever. There was another one. We're going into overtime tonight, everybody. David, give me an extra 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I think this was in Dendera. It was at another temple. And these temples are big, and they have all these rooms that you can go in, and each room is for a specific. So, and I'm, and I just like to just go in, and I'm by myself usually. I let everybody else go do their thing, but I like to go and take it all in. And I'm in this room, and my friend Shah, who's an Egyptologist, she's a genius. She's unbelievably smart. And she sees me standing in this particular room, and she's standing at the door looking at me. And I'm looking at all these, and I'm like, what's going on? What? Oh, those are penises.
Red rockets.
Right? Yeah. And I step back, and it's this one guy, erect, right? Ron Jeremy, ginormous, and all over with these women. And I'm looking around. I'm like, there's a story here. What's going on with this, right? Some of them were carved out, like somebody went and chipped them out, and probably half, and the other half are not. And I'm looking, and she steps in, and she goes, okay, here's the story. I go, yeah, I do want to hear this. She goes, okay, this guy, the Egyptian army took all of the men from this town and went to war. Except for one guy, this guy, and the men never came back.
Dude, that's creepy. My past life regression was me in that war.
This guy,
that's trippy.
This guy had a child with every woman in town. And he was like this revered, and this was his room. And I was like,
it was the survival of Egypt on this one dude.
It was crazy, man. It's great. How did we get on that? Oh, we were talking about
because about Scorpio and about Antares being there, the greatest, the biggest sun in our whole entire galaxy, right? That is in Scorpio, right? So that is what gives Scorpio the energy of why it rules over sex and intimacy. And going back in ancient civilization, it's always the feminine, the black, and the masculine, the red. Even your dog has a red rocket. I know that's cliche and funny, but it's true. Mm-hmm. So that's why Scorpio. That's why lingerie. And so if a girl's wearing white lingerie or yellow or something weird and the guy's into it, he's not really connected into what he knows he is.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah. If he likes red, he likes to be more femme. If he likes black, he likes to be more masculine.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I have all the ancient astrology toolbook to go like, hey. But yeah.
I'm wearing black underwear right now.
Yeah, so you're masculine.
That's what I'm talking about. And my Harleys are black. So
you like, right. So why do men like that, right? And then even feminine like that.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting thing.
Wow, that makes sense.
So
Sagittarius.
with Scorpio, what is coming up for them?
Oh,
And I've said this, I think, on the show last year, but it's coming up a lot because they have one of the harder years. Saturn, Neptune in the 6th house. It's a house of your day-to-day life, your work. It's kind of a boring house, but it really is like Pluto at the bottom of the chart here in Aquarius. It's the emotion. It's like regulating emotion. And I know that sounds like horrible to a Scorpio because they love the black and white. But the emotional regulation and can get you to where your biggest dreams can come true. So there's a caveat that's positive, right? It's like if you can regulate your emotions better and not get so uptight about what's happening at work or with a relationship, and just back off and cool down, you could actually put that energy into your career, into these big goals, and they become wildly successful. So any frustrations you're having, you're going to have to learn that frustration is really for you more about emotional regulation, because everybody gets frustrated, but for you, it can become way too much. It's like, what? So it's just about learning to continue to keep emotional regulation better. But now that bigger goals can really happen. And then Uranus in the 8th house is like, with emotional regulation, your true desires could actually be more potent than ever because you actually have a clearer vision of it instead of like, I just like a thirst trap, desperate for it now.
Man, I could have you on the show every night. I just love this conversation.
Yeah. So, and I mean, that's me giving like little basics, but
yeah,
we move on to Sag. So Sag is not going to feel like it's been every day an atmospheric river in their personal lives, storm, cyclone, because finally Saturn, Neptune are leaving Pisces, and for Neptune leaving Pisces, the 4th house has been. Sages wear it well. You would never know with the Sag that they're going through emotional craziness all the time in their personal life because they're positive. But now it's not going to be chaotic. And I think that's going to almost feel like, what? That actually they have to really believe that things will stick in their life and find happiness and trust that happiness. And relationships are the big kind of new, wild, like new kinds of partners. And that means no, Sag, the traditional idea of like, ooh, this person's so different. They're so foreign. There's, like Sag is like every flavor. You need to pick your flavor. And that might be hard, but now you'll be able to actually have more consistency in your life. They're at 31 flavors every day, and you never know which flavor they're going to pick.
Somebody just posted, are most serial killers Scorpio?
No, they're all Pisces, Sag, and Virgo or Gemini.
There you go. Really?
Yep. Look it up. The list is all the mutable signs.
Wow, that's amazing. Capricorn.
Cappies, last year or this 2025 was actually the beginnings of showing you how great life can be. 2026 is like, yeah, there is nothing left for you to be worried about life being so intense that it's going to just burn everything out. This is actually a really positive year. And honestly, Capricorn's thinking about work a lot, and that's going to be a big part of it. But really, the first part of the year is about really building your alliances. There's great partnerships. Don't be like, oh, you know what? This list is really good, but maybe this other thing in my life is more important. No, you need to pick these relationships that are being offered to you, build your allies, because the good shit, you're going to need them. And that might be a weird thing for Capricorn. They're very like, oh, I want to have my own like thing. They don't want to maybe have things get too intermingled. They need more intermingling with all the parts of their life. And nothing bad is going to happen anymore. They went through the like trauma of Pluto back 2008 through 2024. That's over. And I think that with Saturn and Neptune now for them at the bottom of their chart, they have to feel comfortable in that bad things aren't going to happen, and learn to find comfort through building alliances, not feeling like they're stuck because, oh, maybe a relationship. No, that actually is the good thing you want, because you need a place to come back to in your life to reset. And you want a beautiful thing. You want to share that with somebody beautiful. You can't be afraid of that. So the cobwebs need to come out of those private parts, Scorpio. Capricorns, and allow people to hold you and put a blanket on you and give you some tea. Aquarians.
Where did you come up with that line? That was good.
That's been my line of what the last, like, ever since the end, like coming into the 2010s, 2011 really and on. It's been, I'm the beginning of a millennial technically, so I'm born in 84. But to watch this younger generation just completely like not do what you and I did and go party and rock and roll and all these cool things and go out with people and watch people just be on their phones and just be like, you know what? I think I'm 80 and I'm 20 and I just want to sit in my room and drink tea and just like be depressed. Like, I'm just like, what is going on? Well, it was Neptune and Pisces and all these planets that are finally leaving. So when it comes to Aquarians, like,
isn't that fascinating? Where, and I am no way complaining about this, but my daughter's 30. Okay, she's 30. You've met her. She's cool. Yep. She's amazing. She's grown into the most beautiful, smart woman. I can't believe I pulled that off. But
the generation you were just mentioned on Joe Rogan twice last week.
Yeah. So here's the thing. We have to accept what we have done to our children. We created the internet. We invented social media. We invented streaming. We invented all of this stuff in our lives, right? That we have. Electric vehicles.
Or the nanobots already did this back in the 40s to make create the AI systems that we're at now. And those were the layers to get to that.
Okay, John D. But anyway, here's the thing. we have to accept what they have created. Yeah. They have created their community, their life, their friends, their relationships in an online world. They know what they're doing. They have the same emotional stresses that we had when we were in high school. Oh man.
But it's
Charlene, she's such a bitch. Well, but they do that, but they do it online.
Well, generations that we're in, because Pluto's the quickest in all of our charts, meaning that when Pluto came around in the Leo and all the way up until 2018 to where it said goodbye. And that's why the last pictures were in 2018, because you can't see it with a telescope. And that was the only time like Horizons was around and Voyagers and to send all that data because it's going so far south. But the problem with if you think of the 1800s, like the generations, because Pluto goes extremely long through the signs now, meaning that, there was like 2 generations in a person's life. Right now, we're all living through how many generations? There's the new Gen A or whatever, Gen Z, millennials, Gen X, and baby boomers all at the same time. And the last time that happened was during the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, exactly.
The reason why America is so great was because there was 5 generations trying to figure out what freedom looked like.
Right. Are you a boomer?
No. I'm a millennial.
You're a millennial. Am I a millennial?
I'm the very beginning of millennial. I could be Gen X, right? I'm right at that line.
Okay. All right. They were a good band too. Generation
They were.
X.
But yeah, I grew up without fucking cable and antennas on TV, and nobody watched TV because it was just only whenever it was in the TV guide, and my grandma had the highlighter, like, okay, Johnny Carson, that's fine.
Remember TV guide?
I got to live that world. I got to remember the first cable guy come by and do the old gray box with the red numbers and be like, oh my God, MTV 49.
That was a big deal. Yeah.
I'll never forget. 49 was MTV and 48 was VH1. Like, that's all I went to.
Every coffee table in this country, every single one, 250 million homes had a TV guide on it.
It did. It was at your front door with the mail.
Every single house.
I know. That was how you found out what was on TV.
That's it. That's crazy. Okay.
And then you would go through and that thing would sit there and everybody had a highlighter and they'd be like, oh, we're going to watch this show. And then everybody went together to watch TV.
Right.
It wasn't like somebody sitting there by themselves, like, I'm going to watch this right now. Like, you know, unless it was like 700 Club for like some grandpa. But like, you know, yeah, so I got to live all that. But, you know.
Oh, man.
I had to knock on the doors to ask a girl out and deal with her dad just to take her to a dance. You know what I mean? Like, there was no, call or just send a text. There was no text. I had to make notes, you know? Fuck, man.
Do they still do that in school? Remember passing notes? That was
no,
a big deal.
They don't even text. They like use Snapchat or some weird thing and be like, hey, like I'll see you over at that place. And then they ask dances based off the chat. Like they don't even there's no formal ask. It's like, hey, like, okay, I guess we're doing it. I guess I'll see you there.
Do you remember?
Like what?
Okay, hold on. I want the chat room to light up on this one. I can't believe I'm even saying this. I haven't thought about this in 50 years. When you got a note from a girl and it was folded up and it had the little pull tab.
Right.
And it would, Remember those?
Tab, you just like pull it up. Or
you were big
origami.
time. You know, some girl comes up, okay, Michelle wanted me to give you this. You know, you got a note and you could go out in the
Your
hallway.
heart would be pounding like insane.
You were oh man. You know,
and they would, and the smart ones, especially by like 8th grade and 9th grade, like, you know, they put a little bit of smell on it, and they like, you know, like, oh God.
Check out Jen. She says, I can still make those.
That's so funny. And then, you know, you were always fascinated by the handwriting too. I'd be like, oh, I like this handwriting.
Yep.
I could imagine her being my girlfriend based off the handwriting. It's so weird.
Hold on. Check this out. Yes, and always ask a question so you could send it back.
Yeah, exactly.
Those notes were dope.
Or if you know, we're the last generations that had our yearbook. My yearbook is full of just signatures and whole stories, and you know, like my yearbook is just like all of my yearbooks, all of them. They're just nonstop writings.
I don't want to.
And I actually like that because I have my right here. My studios, my grandfathers, my fathers, like, you know, and my great grandfathers, all their yearbooks.
When my daughters, my stepdaughter, Deanna, I remember the day it came up in a conversation, writing. That's all. And she goes, they don't teach writing in school anymore. I go,
because they're all on laptops and iPads and shit.
I was like, what are you talking about?
We had to do cursive. Remember that?
Yeah, cursive. She was practicing her signature. And you know, that's cool. We all did that. We invented it. I have the same signature now that I had in 6th grade.
Me too.
By the way, it hasn't changed. And she goes, no, they don't teach cursive. They don't teach writing anymore. I go, how do you write stuff down? Well, you know, it's
typing on iPad. They have iPads for kids, I guess, now.
Man, all I do is I have notepads. I am writing. I have a pen. I am writing constantly. How can kids not do that?
I write on charts every day.
Yeah. I do a grocery list. I'll write it out, you know?
Right.
How can kids not do? And I love it. I enjoy writing.
Right. Well, it fires the best spots in your brain too. That's what sucks for kids not getting that.
Yeah, crazy. All right. Where were we at?
Aquarius and then Pisces, just the last two.
Aquarius.
Well, I mean, honestly, Aquarius has great aspects. So I think they're going to get really kind of situated finally of like, this has been the weirdest 2 years for them, and Pluto coming in their sign. Like, what is really going on with my life? And it feels like they never thought they'd be in the place they are, but now they're going to start to get the reveal of like what's happening. They are going to have like, this might sound crazy because Aquarians are super chill and cool always, but the universe is going to put them through Real Housewives of like Orange County or Beverly Hills.
What? Really?
Yeah. So like, yeah, because like their love lives, like they are going to go through to get them to really finally open their heart up to what they really want instead of always, oh no, this is what I want. Because it's like a math equation. This works. No, that ain't going to work anymore. So drama is what they're being forced into. Actually, it's more like a soap opera that they're coming into. It already began in 2025. They just they're in denial.
Really?
Yeah. So
now somebody just asked. Now this is important, and I ask you this all the time. So let's do this. So let's get this in. What if you're on the cusp, right? I'm Pisces and Aquarius.
If you're on the cusp, like I'm a cusper, but I'm a Leo. Like you just look up your day and time, and so the sun was at 0 Leo for me, so I'm a Leo. So in astrology, if the planet, especially if we're using the sun for sun signs, if the sun is in that sign, it's in that sign. So actually, if it's at the beginning of a sign, it's 10 times the power of the expression of that sign to 10 times of what it normally is. So if you're born on the first day of that sign, you are the 10 times more of that embodiment. If you're born at the last degree, at the last degree, it's the anaretic degree. It's almost like you always feel like you're on edge, waiting for something to give and change.
Now I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle. What does
that
mean?
So you're like Malcolm in the middle.
I'm Malcolm in the. I'm a Libra, and I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
Libra.
So you're in the. It really is only at the edges that it gets weird.
Oh, that's
really extreme of that sign, or I want the fuck out of this sign, and I just need something to change.
No, that makes sense because I'm in the middle, right? I'm the 10th, and Libra is the 23rd to October 23rd, right? September. So I'm right in the middle of that, and I have to say, I'm not to the extreme,
right? And that's a great place to be. It's not and then there's no better place to be on any part, right? You can't be you got to have full diversity with the signs in every degree too, right? It's kind of like everybody's a human. Like there is no better alignment.
Except for Libra. I
mean, and honestly, because you guys are the artists that get to have these amazing relationship experiences that really kind of intertwine. So that means when you find your next love, and that'll be the most powerful one of your life, that means your creativity is going to shift too to something crazy awesome. They're connected.
What if I cruise out because I'm not looking, right?
I know you're not. But what shows up, it'll be undeniable to not look.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm wondering when the universe is going to present it, though.
July into August.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and I think on those eclipses in August for you. Are you going to be anywhere during that period?
July and August. I have to look at my calendar. Yeah, August I'm going to be in Scotland. July I'm in Peru.
All right, so you probably meet somebody. You could even meet. Well, I mean,
we'll talk off the air.
Yeah, but for Libras, it might be like very like wow, like it could be on the way to Peru, like at the airport, and you meet somebody, and then you just like, oh, whatever, and then by the time it's like a month away, you're like, you're coming to Scotland with me, what? It's like that. It's like it or oh yeah, part of the Peru thing. What?
Right. Esperanza is so funny. Look out, Scotland. Here comes Jimmy. I often
next thing you'll be seeing Jimmy in August taking selfies with his leg. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, this fool's in love." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but the universe. What if the universe tests me? All right, this goes for anybody, not just me, but what if the universe throws out a test? So I go to Scotland, I go to Peru, I go to Egypt, where I'm somewhere, and the universe presents somebody to me, but they live in another country.
Well,
that's a test.
They're going to come to you because you're going to be the magnet, and they'll come and they'll find a way to come in.
I live in Los Angeles, and they live 5,000 miles away.
Well,
that's a test.
That yearning is going to be extreme. That you will be FaceTiming and calling up your friends that know AI and trying to find every way to connect.
I know, right. I'm gonna have the Leo Kings app, but everybody gets tested this way, don't they? They really do.
I mean, yeah, I mean, but we're moving into air and fire, so it's like, I don't know if you remember that old world, like you do, coming into the 2000s and the way that millennium and all of that vibe that we were in, the end of the 90s, that was, Saturn came into Aries in 96 and 97, and that was also with Uranus and to Aquarius, and we were in the same air fire shit, and it was like, people can't let go of that period.
No,
I still can't.
No, me neither.
I told my wife, who's 15 years younger, I'm like, I don't think you realize that on New Year's Eve 2000, every house on every block around the whole fucking world was going bonkers.
Completely.
And the way that TV was set up and MTV and bands and music and life and just, it was thriving, like society and culture would hit its peak. It was our renaissance. It was like insane. I'll never forget it. I was so happy to be a fucking 16-year-old at that time. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I was at that time, I was like early 30s, and everything was alive. 1999, 2000, 2001, because it was the internet, it was the digital age, friggin' Napster, right? Or whatever.
AOL.
Flat screen TVs were coming in. Yes.
Well, flat screens were 2006 and the 7, 8.
2000
and HD
3, 4. Well, my first flat. But my point is, we were going through this huge transition.
Oh yeah, we were big time. Yeah, the big 36-inch JVC TV was too heavy.
VHS went out.
I know. DVD with the Matrix. That was like so weird at the same time.
It was a 1999, and then you had Y2K and all of that digital, forecasting and drama. It was that was wild.
Yeah, Steve Jobs with the iMac and the return of Apple and a whole different world. I mean,
somebody just typed in Super NES.
but that was also the beginning of like us, because the N64 was out, so it was like 64.
I was PlayStation. I was fully PlayStation.
Computer games actually became like more on the internet, and I was playing Half-Life back then. Like, it was sick.
Yeah, I was doing PlayStation 2 Gran Turismo.
Oh yeah,
and there was
great games on PS2, and it was the first time you could play MP3s while you were fucking playing your game.
Oh, you know what changed my life with PS2? Lara Croft.
Oh, that game was sick too.
That I walked into a friend of mine's office, and he was playing it on his laptop on a PC, and I'm like, "What is that? What? How? What?"
Right?
And
it was
I went
realistic looking. It was crazy.
Dude, I went that night to Fry's. Right?
Oh
so
man,
there's this
good
computer
Fry's.
game with this chick, and she's got gun. Oh yeah, Tomb Raider. You got it? Yeah. I Tomb Raidered out for the next 2 years. Every new game, the walk.
What did you go to the Fry's that was like in Burbank with the UFO going through it?
I went to that one. Was my favorite Fry's, but the other one in Woodland Hills too was.
Oh yeah, that one was a good one too. Yeah, I went to all of them.
Me too. I went to the one in Redondo Beach a lot. I like that one.
Nice.
Yeah,
I can't believe they went out of business during COVID. I was like, wait, what? Gone.
Have you seen the movie Nope?
Nope.
Watch it tonight.
Right, nope.
Okay, it's an ET alien invasion.
Oh, really?
Movie. I'm not going to give anything else away.
Those.
But you know what is central? The other cast member in Nope? Fry's Burbank.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's rent it tonight.
No way.
When you watch it, you're gonna flip out. Flip out.
It's funny you bring up alien invasion because for Aquarians, that's what it's going to feel like the drama show they have to go through. Like they just don't want to be invaded and they want their own space. And it's like, no, you got to go through
You got to
the
face
drama.
it. Yeah, you got to face it.
You got to go into it, especially relationships, because that's Jupiter in Leo, the South Node, the eclipses in Leo, their opposite sign. While they have Uranus hanging in their 5th house now, like they are going to go through the biggest drama. Like Aquarians, like having to express their heart more instead of being an ice cold fucking freezer.
Wow, you went there. You went there.
All right, but that's the truth. And then Pisces.
Let's get to the fish.
This is the last, and they're always the last, but it's like, holy shit, Neptune leaving their sign is a big deal. Pisces are finally going to feel like they're not so lost in their life. They're going to have to understand that they're of value. And so they have to work on realizing how important they are. And they might not feel it, but they actually are. They have to own their self-worth for the first time. And they're not going to be confused about what they like and what they want. But it's more important just to realize like they are appreciated and they have to own that now. There's going to be a lot of cool things for them. Like definitely like finding the work that they really want to do instead of doing what they think is best. But really it's about creating, and then also understanding value of themselves requires them to understand how to appreciate things too. So Pisces don't, and Aries kind of think about themselves, about what they're always getting. And in order for them to get that, they have to also see, well, how are they getting it? Learn appreciation, because without gratitude, you don't get shit.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
It's
weird how that statement, I mean, Einstein based all of his theories on that. If you think about it.
Right. I mean,
there's no positive, negative, light and dark, gravity, the balance of every that's the way it all works. And unless you grasp that and embrace it and understand it, life is going to be at a standstill.
Yeah, because like Joel, I know I'm with you. I'm more in conspiracies I don't follow religion stuff. But like Joel Osteen's a Pisces, and that guy's faking gratitude. Like it's like and he's a Pisces, and it's like, let's see what real gratitude looks like, dude.
As he drives his Ferrari.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is like,
yeah.
Right. Like he does, like Pisces don't have to put on the show anymore.
You know what? Before we wrap up, and we just did an extra 30 minutes on the show. Thank you, David, for doing that. And of course, the chat. You guys are hanging out with us the night before New Year's Eve. Very cool. I'm so humbled by that. I'm going to say this about Joel Osteen. I remember I was hearing his name a lot, but the first time I saw his face, I was like, that dude's full of shit. That was it. That was it. I know nothing about that guy. I know nothing about him.
He's actually technically more spiritual than Christian, but it's like he won't own that because he actually doesn't like go into all the Bible, right? And he talks more like a spiritual person would talk, like how to transcend situations, and doesn't really go into like following the scripture per se as much, right? And interprets it more in this like more positive kind of manifestation way. And so it pisses Christians off now. So it's so funny. He's in a situation where it's like, dude, what are you? Are you Christian? Are you spiritual? Are you like, what's your deal?
I depend so much on that. I depend so much. The first, I get it wrong a lot. I'm not saying that, but I do. My eyes, I intuition, vibration, and if you don't have it, you're going to have to earn my respect. If I don't get it from you from first observation, it's an uphill battle, man. You got to work for it, because I've already tuned out. And I don't know about you, but I don't have the time for a new friend. No. You know what I mean? I don't have the time. What you have to invest in, emotionally and everything else. And
right. So that's why with Libra, I'm like, you guys need to stop fucking taking on these extra battles with people and being the bridge for them. Like, you can't take it on.
Yeah. And I do I have new friends. I meet people all the time, and they're great and stuff. But if I meet somebody for the first time and the vibration is off,
Yeah,
I just if the vibration is on, welcome to my world.
right.
I'm all cool with that. But if the vibration is off, you got a couple of years of hard work in front of you before I return your
Yeah,
time.
you need to find out the decoder for the signals that are coming out of 3A Atlas. And once you do, then we could talk. Thanks.
David, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, brother. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
And it was great.
yours.
Thank you.
Man, I love you. I'll call you this weekend. We've got a few things to chat about, and we've got lots of events coming up together.
Yep.
Next up is, of course, the Conscious Life Expo. One of my
I'm
favorite
gonna have a
things
booth there this year. I haven't had one for 11 years.
bullshit. I don't believe it.
And I'm the first one right when you walk in the main exhibit hall. The first
I
one.
believe it when I see it. One of my favorite
Straight
things
up,
to
look
do.
it up. You can go on the website right now and see. Oh, right there, bang.
One of my favorite things to do is hang out with you at the Conscious Life Expo. When I see you walking towards me and everything is right with the world.
Well, I'm gonna last year or this year, ironically, but now next year or last year, in terms of 2026, I do your special lunch.
Yes. Yes.
It's awesome.
Are you doing it this year?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Right. Oh no, as a guest or as
No, just I remember I just buy the ticket and go
I know
and hang out.
I know that. I was just asking if
support. Actually, it's one of the best things at Conscious Life Expo. You want to get away and talk with people. Like everybody you introduced, you didn't even introduce me. They introduced themselves. I'm at a table with all these people who are all giving me new info that I never heard of in my life. And then they're going, well, what do you get from the astrology? And then we're just like rapping about it. I'm like, this is awesome.
The thing is about the luncheon and to call it the Jimmy Church luncheon just blows my mind. Like, how did I get here? Right. But anyway, truly, if you are an attendee at a conference like this and you can walk in to my luncheon, which is pretty intimate, we have like
that's what I like about
people. Yeah, 200 people. But look around the room. You've got the Skinwalker Ranch cast. You've got Linda Moulton Howe. You've got Danny Sheen. You've got Caroline Corey. You've got Richard Dalton. You know what I mean? That all sitting at these tables, hanging out with everybody, having lunch break,
and it's natural. It's not forced. It's
very natural.
Conversations just come naturally. You don't have to feel like you have to do something, and then you make it fun and interactive, and it's great. And the food's amazing. And honestly, it's like the biggest, best it reminds me of like Club 33 at Disneyland. Like nobody has a pass.
Right.
But like, if you want to have one, you can have one. And at Conscious Life Expo, and it's Jimmy Church's luncheon.
If you don't have a ticket, you're not coming in.
Right.
I love that. I love that.
So,
all right, man. So I'll see you in a couple of months, but I'll call you.
Cool.
I'll call you Friday. Let's get the
that's cool.
days out of the way. All right. Enjoy your New Year's tomorrow night, my man. I love you, brother.
You too.
Thank you so much, David Palmer. Thank you so much, David. The absolute very best. Thank you for closing out this year with me. It's very
same
special.
Here.
I'll talk to you
later.
Have a great night. David, the Leo King Palmer. This is our last show of the year. Thank you, David. Wow, we almost did did 3 hours of astrology tonight. How cool is that? Thank you, everybody in the chat. You're all wonderful. That's it. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. Tomorrow night, we will be in 2026. So everybody have a great, safe, fun time tomorrow night. Enjoy your New Year's Day. Enjoy your weekend off. Spend it with family and friends. Have a great time. Thank you for being here with us this year on Fade to Black. And again, it's an honor and a privilege for me to do this with all of you every single night. It means so much to me. All right, that's it. Bye-bye 2025. Come on, 2026. But for now, all I've got is go Beckley Tappy. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee Newman, and Michelle Freed. Special thanks to Bill, John, Dex, Jessica, Dennis, and Kevin. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music by Doug Aldrich. Intro, Space Boy. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network.
This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2024 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Go back, Lee Tappy.